Alrighty. Welcome guys. Let's turn on the webcam for Steadfast there. Alright, welcome guys to the Alpha Pro Series Xmas Showdown. We are glad you're here. I am Mikasa Snoopy, and joined by my side is, of course, as you can see on screen, Steadfast.
Hey, how's it going, Snoopy? Thank you once again to Alpha X for having me on. What are we here for today?
We are here for the Group B of Group Stage 2, who will determine which of our top two will advance to the semifinals and have a chance to play for that $600 first place prize pool.
That is pretty exciting. We got some really good players here today. Let's take a look at the group right now. We have, first match of the day is going to be Battle of the Lowercase S's. We have SOS versus Sue. And wow, they have one lowercase s and one uppercase O in their names. The only difference is an extra S versus an O, and they're both lowercase in that mode. So very interesting.
Yeah, I think.
I wonder if that'll affect the match at all.
I'm really excited for that match because I don't think I remember the last time they even played against one another, and these are two household names that has had a lot of history and success in their individual careers. So I can't wait to see that matchup.
Yeah, that is going to be a good one for sure. It's kind of funny too because it's a bit of a clash of styles too. You have SOS, who's kind of been the master of mind games throughout his entire career. Really made a name for himself off of it. And good mechanics for sure. We've seen it in the earlier things. His probe pulls, his probe splits actually specifically have been amazing, mesmerizing even. But then you have kind of the other end of the spectrum where Sue is very much less focused on strategy and tactics and decision making, and almost purely focused on those mechanics. There's just perfect injects, getting the most number of units you can, taking fights the most effective way possible, overwhelming his opponent with multitasking and lower tech units. Really a clash of styles, I would say.
Oh wow, they started without us, huh?
Really?
Apparently so. Well, that is unfortunate.
Well, I feel like that's probably just going to end up being a warm-up game then. Yep.
I guess the admin just forgot about us. Oh wow, that's unfortunate, but you could, of course, guys could join this is actually a Spanish stream, Alpha X ESP. You can go ahead and watch the game there for the meantime.
We'll try and we're gonna try and follow along on this one, and we'll I guess this is kind of a radio cast at the moment. So you've got the stream. What are you at? I'm at about 154, 155, 156.
I have not added the stream yet. One second.
Okay. Well, just give me that little countdown there. Starting things off, looks like it was a hatch first. It did get hatch blocked by SOS, so Sue just went ahead and took it at the third. And interesting from SOS electing to go for the kind of taking advantage of those mineral patches, and is going to be using those at the front on Zen in order to wall off there, and then he'll wall off the right side of his base a little bit later on. Adept is the unit of choice for SOS to start things off. Kind of interesting. It's a good follow-up when you've forced your opponent to take that third base away, because obviously the Adept has so much mobility. It can jump between those main and third bases very easily. Ooh, nice target fire. Actually takes down a Zergling, and actually he'll take down both Zerglings, then get out of the main base. Pretty nice. And he's thrown down 2 additional gateways as well. Maybe getting aggressive here with, could just be Glaveless Adepts. maybe, but he's building a Stalker as a follow-up. I'm not too sure. We saw some weird stuff from him before. I do believe he went Blink at one point earlier on here.
Seems so. Looks like the two adepts will go in, and speed just finished, so that shall allow him to at least try to get on top of the adepts.
But they did manage to pick off a drone, which is nice. SOS is actually quite a bit ahead in workers right now. He's up by 9 workers. Sue hasn't really been able to find his footing just yet in the game, but he will catch up as his next round comes online. But as that happens, we already have 3 more adepts being warped in. He's gonna just go with those first 5. May warp in 3 more. I don't think there's a proxy pylon anywhere, but he may just rally those across the map, or even switch into sentries and do some kind of push from here. But he does have a Twilight Council on the way. No, it is 3 more adepts being warped in back at home. And yeah, due to the kind of lack of creep spread at the natural, this could be really effective. And there's no Roachborn either, which is very important. Ooh, but the Lings, there's actually not enough, I think, to fight these adepts just yet. But with more rallying in, they will be able to eventually get this round. And actually going to pick off every single adept before they can transfer out. Turns out to have been quite a mistake to transfer in there with just the first 5. But 3 get into the third. Oh, wow. And they actually, that was amazing. They all split their target fire perfectly. And managed to pick off a total of 4 drones so far. And Glaives is going to be the follow-up here. That was brilliant maneuvering right there from SOS. He recognized that Sue was going to be on top of his shade, and he just is like, okay. So he cancels it and then recalls home. Saves all 3 of the adepts. Really nice decision making. Oh, but Sue will... Oh, wow. He actually didn't force a cancel. That was a kill. Kill on the 3rd Nexus, and he will get these 2 adepts before they can shade out, I do believe. But there is a big counterattack on the other side of the map with a lot of adepts that don't quite have resonating glaives, but they will soon. Meanwhile, Sue has stuck with Lings throughout this whole thing. And it's going to be +1 melee on those, but they're not finished up yet. That being said, resonating glaives is also not quite finished yet. If SOS had waited for maybe an additional warp in with maybe 1 or 2 of these attacks, it could have done a lot more damage here.
Yeah, for sure. And actually, there's actually more links on the production tab, and Sue is going all out, and it's gonna actually kind of line up with his +1 melee. And actually, the links just bypass the adepts. It seems like there's an all-out counter attack, and this might be actually almost a base trade here.
Yeah, this is really rough, I feel, for Sue right here. His +1 melee will eventually finish up, but it's not going to finish up right away. Baneling Nest is done, though, so he can start to warp in some Banes. That being said, yeah, he did get to cancel on the 3rd base, but it's going to be really tough to deal with these adepts. Oh my god, the Bane hits are massive, though.
Nice. That was really beautiful.
Oh, man, this could have been... It's funny, I was praising SOS for his splits, and there didn't really show them off at all. And he's actually lost his Nexus at the 3rd twice now. And this is a little bit rough. This is now +1 melee on these Lings, and a couple Banes, and there's not a lot to hold this off. And Immortals do not do all that well against Zerglings.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 2 that's coming out. He's going to probably attack before the 2 Immortals might join up. And here we go. Looks like the Banelings are moving in. And we're going to need some force fields, some nice... Oh, nice actually wall off there. It will save a bunch of their units and forces Sue to back out.
Yeah, that was really good that he didn't have to use a force field there. But we did see Sue taking down the... oh, man, this is really good. He's really mitigating these Banelings extremely well. Oh, but a big jump gets right on top of the army. Going to get 1, maybe 2 of the sentries and both adepts that were there. So this is Sue trading out very, very efficiently with these Zerglings.
In the
doing a lot with a little there.
Yeah, in the meantime, he's macroing back up. He's refilling those drones. Now he's enjoying a almost 15 worker lead, as well as getting a 4th base established at the same time.
Yeah, he droned up really hard behind that. And he has +2 and centrifugal hooks on the way with a Roachborn very nearly done. So he's going to have the opportunity to go into that Roach Ravager Ling Bane here. And because he denied Sue's 3rd expansion for so long, and Sue was committing for such a long time, he did not have a good probe count behind this. So he's kind of forced into this scenario where he's going for this all-in. It could be very strong. He is ahead in army supply. And +2 and Bane speed have not yet finished up, but geez, he doesn't have any +1 weapons of his own. Oh, he misses one of the force fields. A Baneling does get in, and he will lose a sentry for it, but he's actually he's really pushing hard, and he's up almost 20 army supply.
Yeah, it might be worth it for Su to just kind of sack this base, but it looks like he just wants to commit to saving this base. And the Banelings does get on top of a few of the front lines. There's no more sentry energy left, so SOS got to be careful not to overextend.
Yeah, and even though a lot of the army is adepts, because they have that resonating glaives, they can trade out really well. But a lot of sentries go down right there to those +2 melee lings. That being said, there are adepts in the main mineral line right now. They're killing a few drones, and he's still pushing very hard at this front. So Su is getting heavily taxed right now, and he loses a lot. 10, 11 drones going down. And even if SOS had to retreat right here, he has killed so many workers, I should say. And he has put himself in a fantastic position. And he should be able to just right-click down this hatchery if he wants. But he might not even need to. Yeah, no, he's just so far ahead in supply. He's going to win out right now.
Yeah, more adepts being warped in, and that forces Su to GG out, and SOS will take game number 1.
Yes, he will after off of some kind of wonky play. But it worked out really well for him. And once again, thank you to everyone tuning in. We apologize for that first game. Looks like there was a little bit of a lack of miscommunication. We will get you into that second game for sure, with game sounds and all that jazz.
Yep. All right. I am in the party here, in the lobby. Are you in the lobby?
I am not just yet in the lobby. There we go. Getting the invite right now.
All right, let me go ahead and put your camera back on. Looks like, all right, there we go. All right, we don't want to miss that handsome face, you know. All right, so currently, let's go ahead and actually update the scoreboard here as well. SOS winning game number 1 of this best of 3 series, and let's see if Su can bounce back and tie up the series. We will be playing on Nightshade LE for this next game.
Oh, we may want to hold off before we start. Looks like we may have a couple additional casters here from the Taiwanese casters. Don't want to miss out on another set of casters. That would be highly unfortunate.
Yeah, for sure. Caster lives matter.
Absolutely. We're gonna have to unionize if we can't get into game lobbies. Just so we do see SOS going up 1-0 in that series with not that it was tricky. I think the trickiest part of it was that he didn't probe up too much that third base. So he's just kind of building up to. Ironically, Su built up the counters or the units that made the Immortals effective by going into that Roach Ravager. If he had just made pure Ravager, like 3 or 4 Ravagers to break force fields and not built any more Roaches, and then just made mass-ling Bane, maybe that could have turned out a little differently. But SOS really utilizing the mobility of the Glaive Adepts, and really doing some work there.
Yeah, for sure. For a moment, actually, I did think that Su was in a pretty good position, but I saw the army of SOS with all those sentries, Moto, and adepts. I'm like, this looks kind of tight here. And with some nice force field, he was able to, of course, make that work.
Yes, yeah. But that being said, if he had maybe 5 more Banes during those first couple fights, I don't know. Maybe this game goes a little differently.
Yeah.
Maybe we're talking about how Su just had the perfect holds. For a while he did. For a while, he had some very, very good, very, very good stuff. For a second, I just like had a moment where I was like, "Oh, I'm about to play," because I saw a Protoss symbol and I saw a barcode, and I was like, "Oh, I'm getting into a game right now."
Oh
That's
man, I would love to
cheeky,
see
cheeky Sue.
you play one of these guys. That would be hilarious.
That would be fantastic for no one. Like watching a baby get beaten to death. And we have spawning up in the top left position, wielding a very big bat. It is the Protoss player from Jinair Green Wings. Give it up for SOS.
And spawning at the bottom right, we have our red Zerg player from Chivo SC. It is Sue.
Yes, it is. And we do see already the low ground pylon. And ooh, look at that, a gas first from SOS. May just go for a little bit quicker of a Stargate here. We talked about that in the earlier games that were played. Yeah, just can be a little bit of a personal preference there.
Yeah, I believe in yesterday's group that Zest also went for a gas first, but anyhow, it does leads to a faster adept harass, so you can, or maybe even can actually bank enough gas to get a stalker first, and then go for that Stargate as well. So we'll see after the cybernetic core is done.
Yes, that is what the gentleman Nice was doing in his games to kind of throw off his opponents a little bit, and it was quite effective. I liked it. Interesting right now. Oh no, never mind. Just the way he's rallying the workers. For a second, I thought Sue was only putting 2 on gas, which I was like, oh, he's doing a new build here, but that wasn't what it was.
Well, we have seen Sue in the past before go for, I mean, mainly against Terran. Go for. Oh.
Proxy pylon. Sorry, go on.
Oh, there we go. Proxy, as usual, as SOS would, of course, do.
Yeah.
But like I said, in the past, Sue has mostly 2 against Terran. He would go for kind of the quicker spawning pool, go for a 2 ling to harass and keep the Reaper back, and then he will kind of transition to roaches behind it to do a surprise attack. So that was certainly something that he could have done if he wanted to go for that second guess like you mentioned. But it looks like it's going to be just a standard opening from Sue.
Look at this ling on the bottom of the map right here. Look at the path it's taking. Dana, Dana,
Oh.
Dana, 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 Dana. Beautiful. That is potentially a fantastic scout for Sue. And he may find it just as the Stargate finishes up, which would be so awkward for Sue, or for SOS. Because, okay, so he is going to go straight into that Oracle regardless. Will he... meanwhile, at the front, Adept is getting a bit done. It gets 2 drone kills, or sorry, 2 Zergling kills. And this pylon will be saved easily. And it was always going to be difficult to deny that, but just the fact that he scouts that is really, really nice, because this is going to really expose Sue moving forward. It's not safe to have your Stargate out on the map like this. This really exposes you to like follow-up mutas, because you can't go into quick Phoenix production. It's just, you're looking to get some work done, and you want to be able to not have it cost you something. Oh, wow. Actually, Sue may be able to get the deny on the second Oracle. And this is the expose that I'm talking about. And yeah, it is going to get denied here. And that's not just a Oracle denied. That's a Chrono Boost wasted. And yeah, that Stargate's dead.
Yeah, it was really close. And now SOS is stuck with 1 Oracle that's actually really low in life. So he's going to have to recharge that shield battery and hopefully use it as either defense or maybe some stasis wards in the future.
Yes, and it did manage to sneak in behind the Queens a little bit. It did pick up 3 drone kills, which is nice. But it's just the 1 Oracle, so I feel like Sue is going to feel confident to not even build a Spore Crawler at that natural for a little bit. And, oh, okay, look at that. Look at the speed on that drone pull at the 3rd. That was quick. He got that got those drones out of there very, very quickly. Oh, and he's going to pick
Oh.
off this Oracle. Very nice.
That queen
But
just came
meanwhile-
out just in time.
That was perfectly timed for Su. Meanwhile, we see 4 Adepts are coming across the map. Once again, it's Glaives, and this is going to be a 7-gate Adept all-in. Now, Su, behind this, he does have a Baneling Nest very nearly finished, and he oh, wow, he actually
Ooh.
catches the transfer. Really nice for Su right there. Brilliant stuff. And
Yeah.
anything you can do to delay this push, it's going to be so good for Su. But that being said, he is hard supply blocked right now. Just starts an Overlord. Oh, man, and he's going to need a lot more defensive units here. He has a very good drone count, but he needs to get some units here because this is... I'm pretty sure this is, by all accounts, a fake Nexus at the 3rd base. And Su is not going to be able to... he will see... one more. Oh, wow, that's great. He sees 6 gateways total, and that should be enough to tell him that this is a massive commitment.
Oh, but this time around, it looks like Su was under aggression before the Adept Glaives attack was commencing. So we're actually going to have a little bit of a cancel here at the 3rd. But the real big scary push here is for SOS at the natural. Let's see if he can defend this with a few lings and queens.
I think this is going to be a tough defense. I have to disagree with Su's decision to go across the map there. At least with all of his Zerglings and Banelings. Oh, and we see split groups going into the 3rd and main here. And with just Zerglings to defend, Roaches are on the way, but they're not out yet. This is going to be an extremely difficult, tenuous defense. And, ooh, looks like some Banelings did get decent hits at the natural, but the Adepts are pretty well split. However, that does mean that the Zerglings can get really nice surface area on them. And it looks like Su, for the most part, has done a good job defending, but he's actually lost 14 workers throughout all this, and more Adepts at the 3rd base getting, well, forcing drones off the line at the very least. And, oh, wow, fantastic transfuse. Just in time. Will he get the... Oh, just barely gets the last one. Really nice right there.
Yeah, that was clutched.
Absolutely. And, yes, SOS wisely decides not to finish the transfer there. Behind this, he is still on 43 workers, but he doesn't have that all-important 3rd Nexus up. He's actually going into Templar Archives, so he's going to be adding on some Archons with all that gas he's got banked up.
Yeah.
I actually really like the decision from Su, by the way, to not go into an evolution chamber. But meanwhile, another massive warping into the main base. There are Roaches in position, but you got to catch... Oh, look at this. The Natural's going to have so many Adepts right there. That is a massive amount of Adepts, like 18 Adepts. And these all have Resonating Glaives. Another 9 workers immediately get picked off, and he can even start targeting down drones here. Goes back into the main, picks off another 8. Oh my god, in a matter of seconds. All of a sudden, Su is down at 26 workers. And this is... Oh boy, this is a Zerg player that is reeling. Honestly, I think the only way at this point SOS can lose this game is if he does not get out with every single one of these Adepts. And by every single one, I mean like if he loses every single one.
Oh man, this is hard for Su to finally clean up. I think he wants to at least keep his drones in like one area so that he doesn't have to lose so many drones, but already 32 total workers going down.
He is down to 16 workers. This is basically, he's basically got the starting economy this game, and he is 100% all in. Now let's talk about what he could do though. He does have speed on his Roaches. He is going to catch almost all of these Adepts again, just 2 of them making it out here. But look at this, SOS even doing more worker harass actually does knock SOS down to just the 12 drones that you got at the start. With another little just War Prism harass. That being said, that War Prism's not at home. There's only 1 Immortal here. There are some shield batteries and some sentries, but Ravagers are coming in, and Army Supply does heavily favor Su. This could be a little bit scary. Oh, this Artosis pylon would depower a gateway. But he's going to kill the gateway anyway, so it doesn't really matter. This is a little bit tenuous right now for SOS. He's got to be very careful, and he is being very careful with how he sets up for this engage, just buying himself as many warp-ins as he can get. And SOS actually going to start losing even more workers on the other side of the map. A couple Roaches do get segmented off. Nice force fields. Biles come down to break them, but ooh, more Biles on top of the sentries. And another Immortal in the front is a little bit exposed, does go down. Oh, nice zoning Biles as well. And the sentries on the bottom side are really starting to take a beating, but man, Sue needs to get so much more done here. And that War Prism is coming home, and once that gets home, I think that spells the end of this game.
Yeah,
Archon's morphed in on the black. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, there's a like you said, there's Archon being morphed in, and actually the morph count is dwindled a bit, but there's just too much. There's just too much units there for SOS, and Sue will go down.
Yes, he will, and that is SOS putting a stamp on this first game, claiming it for his own, saying, "No, I'm SOS. These are my adepts." Say hello to me and say goodbye to your chance at the winner's match.
All right. Looks like we will have a quick 2-0 here in our first series, but fear not, we do have, of course, our second series, which will be Dream versus Impact.
Yes, it will. And Dream having one of the from about 3 or 4 years ago, one of the best TVZs, I think, period. Just really, really good Terran versus Zerg bio. And it's been a long time since 2015, but he still has shown a little bit of that older form. He 2-0'd True earlier on in the tournament, and well, now we get to see him go up against Impact, who Impact actually topped his group originally.
Yep, it looks like Impact did top his group, and actually let's go ahead and go to the Wikipedia page just so everybody can see. There we go. Group D, Impact making it out of first. Of course, Innovation did make it out of second, but unfortunately he had a prior engagement, so Nice did fill in for him, and he had a nice showing in Group A of Group Stage 2, but unfortunately he finished last, which was unfortunate. Of course, we did have TY and Zest making it out of Group A, so all good.
Yeah, TY taking down Solar and then Zest, so really nice showing from him so far. And Zest, with some nail-biting series, it looks like he almost took down TY in the winner's match, and then edged it out in a close series, I'm sure, over Solar. How did those games look? I'm specifically curious about the ones versus Solar.
Yeah, I think Zest versus Solar was pretty even or so, or at least it was a pretty good game. TY just demolished Solar though in the first series, so it wasn't really close. But yeah, I think Zest and Solar had much closer games.
Yes, yeah, I could imagine.
In fact, I think Solar was in it basically went to game 3, and Solar was like looking pretty okay, but then Zest pulled off a nice last big attack and was able to win, because Zest was like really down on workers. Like a bunch of banelings rode through his third base and killed a lot of workers, so he was like really down on workers, but his army was just superior and was able to make the last attack worth it and was able to get the win.
That's a classic. That is a classic ZVP problem.
All right.
You kill too many workers, and then all of a sudden your opponent has like 170 army supply.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was specifically a game I casted. It might have been WCS Summer, and it was between Hearthstone and Namshar, and it was an incredible game. It went for so long. They were like, Namshar was multitasking everywhere. Hearthstone was barely holding it off, but he was continuing to lose probes. Like eventually it got down to Namshar had like Broodlords, but he didn't have a ton of investors. He just had Broodlords, Hydras, Vipers, Banelings, and Hearthstone, had this like 170 army supply or maybe 150 army supply army with a mothership, and he just did the one push after all these holds and being completely all in, and he barely broke him. It's just absolutely crazy. What are your thoughts for this next series we got coming up?
Let's see here. Impact and Dream. You know, I haven't seen Dream too much in the past. Although I have seen Impact, and I think Impact, he's one of those players that plays a pretty aggressive style. I think he relies heavily on his lings, and so I'm just interested to see if Impact will be the kind of the aggressor, or if Dream will be the one that will put the pressure on Impact and have him react to him.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. Looks like they're getting on with their map vetoes, and it looks like we have a new admin here. It seems like there were some casters that were left out last game as well. I think our Taiwanese casters got left out of the game.
Oh no.
But looks like this game everybody's here, so it's all good.
Yes, we got the Taiwanese casters, we got the Spanish casters. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, Spanish. Yeah, and then we got us.
Yep.
There you go. And first map is going to be World of Sleepers and TVZ World of Sleepers. Very spread out map. Once it gets past 5 bases, I guess you could say that with every map, but once it gets past 4 or 5 bases, it becomes a lot more difficult to defend everything. For Terran, those first 4 are very centralized. Especially if you take that pocket expansion in the front as your 4th. But yeah, we'll have to see if Dream decides to go for Bio or Mech, and if Impact is going to go for that weird gas pool opening he's been favoring. Yeah, but we have... Oh, sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
Spawning down in the bottom left position, it is the red Terran player representing Bright Star Gaming. It is Dream. It is Bright Star Gaming, isn't it?
Yeah, no, Brave Star.
Right, Brave Star. Damn. Yeah. I literally clicked on it as I was doing it and was like, just, yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, whatever.
All right, here at the top right, we have our blue Zerg player, not from Bright Star Gaming or Brave Star Gaming. He is from Team LP.
And he is going to go for an early pool and gas here. This game, it's actually going to be not gas before pool. It'll be pool and gas at the exact same time, which is super interesting. So I've been thinking about this particular build a little bit more and the timing on bases as Zerg. So in theory, you always want more bases as Zerg, right? But think about the reasoning for that. Why do you want that? You want that for mining. You want to be able to mine more minerals than your opponent. And you also want to be able to have that additional larva. Now, if you go for an early pool builds, you get a faster queen. So your larva count is maybe not as good, but it's still decent. And then additionally, you're on a pretty low drone count for the first bit of the game. So by the time you can actually make use of those additional mineral patches, those additional workers, your natural expansion is still very nearly finished, with the fact that Impact leaves 2 drones on gas. So he's got this figured out.
All right, looks like Ling Speed has finished, and actually he's still mining gas. So do you think he's going to actually follow up with maybe possibly roaches or banelings after this? Or you think it's going to be just like fast layer or something?
I feel like he's gonna go for the fast Overlord speed that he went for against Future.
Ah,
It seems like that's his comfort zone here. But that being said, I don't know. It's kind of it seems kind of risky to, or not risky, but it seems like you're likely to get exposed doing something like this, you know? But it is interesting to note that he did not go for the 2 Zerglings that he went for in the games against Future. Maybe the difference is when you get scouted with an SCV or something like that, he decides not to build those 2 links, or he just knows that Dream may have taken a look at his matches. Oh, look at this! I am wrong about Overlord speed. This is a fast Rotorn, a very fast Rotorn.
yeah. As we said in the earlier, before the game started, Impact is can be a really aggressive Zergling or Zerg player, and that is exactly why, because he can pull out builds just like this, where he just probably is going for an all-in, either an all-in or just a few roaches to scare. But with the committed Speedling upgrade, I feel like this is going to probably be all-in.
Yeah, he's building a bunch more Overlords to free up that supply. This definitely feels like an all-in. Nice micro right there from Impact to keep his lings alive. Those roaches are going to be... Oh, this is so nice. Anytime he can buy with these lings to prevent the scout on these roaches is so good. Oh, wow. And he's actually baiting them around so far. It is going to be a really long time before those Hellions and Reapers get across the map. The more time you have, the more time you can build a bunker. Oh, and look at this. It's actually going to be double barracks as the follow-up for Dream, with a very fast 3rd command center. This is incredible greed from him, and I do believe Impact may have found a build that's going to punish it. All right, just now Dream scouts it with the Hellion.
Oh, just barely got the Hellion. He needs to save all the units that he can, because he went for a really greedy build, and his units are not the strongest, not the beefiest.
No, they're not. And actually, the Hellion repair, it kind of got derped a little bit by pathing right there. And he is going to lose that low health Hellion. And this bunker is not going to finish. I think this may actually be the game. We do have a Marauder being built and another one on the way. Going after that reactor, I do like that decision. But he's not actually going to be able to deny this this bunker on the high ground, and that's kind of important. This will allow Dream, at the very least, to stay alive. And Impact, he did cut drones at a very, very early count. Oh, he may be able to get a supply depot. My Impact, no, he's going to be able to get the SCV repair on that in time. I would like to see Impact actually focus down those SCVs.
Yeah, he's actually giving him a lot of time to build that. Possibly even got the tank out right now. It's going to make it really hard to bust through, but it looks like Impact actually was not fully committed. He only made a couple roaches, and the rest, he's just going to drones. So 9 drones in the production tab, Lara being researched, so he's kind of macroing behind this.
Yeah, he is. He droned up. He actually didn't commit with the lings, which was very interesting to me. And it turned out to be a good decision. I feel like at this point he's gonna go double. He's gonna go missile upgrades for this game. And at first, when this attack came in, it was 37 drones to 35 SCVs. And I thought Dream was actually going to come out in a very, very good economic position. But he actually ended up cutting SCV production for a fair bit of time to focus on the defense. And that means that Impact was really able to run away with the economic lead. And he's now up to 68, soon to be 70 workers. And doesn't have a 4th base on the way yet, but he is roaring economically.
Oh, yeah. And he should be taking a 4th base very soon. We'll see if he actually takes the 4th base at the 1 o'clock position, or if he takes it down at the south side vertically. But there, in the meantime, looks like there's going to be a commencing drop here at the main base of Impact. But Roaches will quickly retreat into the main and defend without any problems.
That was a nice transfuse to keep that that Overlord alive. Little things like that. Good mechanics. Obviously, having the Overlord there isn't ideal, but it did actually tank a fair bit of damage and meant that For example, the Spore Crawler was not focused down, which is going to anchor that defense against these drops much more effectively, especially when you're going Roach Ravager. Because, of course, drops Roach Ravager doesn't shoot up. You don't have Hydras, you don't have Mutas. You're just relying on Queens and Spores defensively, and maybe a Lucky Bile. Ooh, little Hellion run by in towards the third, but it's actually going to get stopped by these Roaches. But it still will be able to get a couple workers here, I think. This is nice finding value with these. Still, 3 workers is not a lot. Ooh, look at this Nidus Worm timing out with the 1-1 and speed on the Roaches. Oh, and this drop actually coming back into the main right here, as well as a drop at the 4th base.
Oh, my, actually, just barely, but halfway done with the 4th base there, so just barely say that. But looks like Impact, he is going for it. He's got the Nidus Worm, he's got the Ravagers, 5 Ravagers on the way, and the Nidus just pops out.
Oh, and looks like he's going to get one going in the main as well. And he is going to be going in on this 3rd base. There's nothing to defend these tanks. They are completely exposed right now. Marines are in behind them, but oh man, already Bile's going down on top of all of the tanks. They will get some good shots, but Dream is massively down in army supply right now, and this is going to be a very tough hold for him.
Yeah, all the tanks are gone. It's just a bunch of Marines, a few Marauders, but most of them are Marines, which doesn't do the best against Roaches. But there is one tank at the high ground. Overseer does get vision for the Corrosive Bound, and it takes out the last tank, and this is pretty much it.
Really nice move from Impact right there to take that Overseer out of the what's the mode it's in? Observer mode? We'll just call it Observer mode. Take it out of that mode and actually get it into a position where it could provide that high ground vision and finish the break. That was just that was nicely done by Impact right there.
Yeah.
And Dream kind of got punished for that greedy build. And then ironically, it was his own lack of greed that then cost him the game, I think. Because he cut workers for so long, assuming that Impact was going to commit heavier than he did.
Yeah, and the Roach Ravagers rush did, of course, force the Terran player to basically flow his CC back home. So he wasn't really minding. He was basically off 1 base, even though he had 3 CCs, and Impact was able to just macro behind it, and nicely done. Yeah, he's showing that he was able to put on some aggression, but also proving that he was a good macro player. Because sometimes lower league players, they would do a rush like that, but then they wouldn't really drone as hard behind it in order to transition well.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, no, not a problem for Impact at all. He was and he knew the state of the game, and he had that killer instinct to go, knowing that, you know what, I've put myself in a position where I'm going to be ahead, and you were going to have a really tough time holding off this 1-1 timing, and he was right. It was very, very strong.
All right, looks like Nightshade will be the next map here, and we'll see if Dream can tie up the series and force it to an ace match or a 3rd match. But in the meantime, Impact enjoying a 1-0 lead, and of course, whoever wins the series will move on to the winners versus winners match against SOS, while the loser of this series will move on to the losers versus losers match against Sue, which is not the best compilation prize, but how do you say it? Consolation prize. Okay, yeah, consolation prize. Yeah. All right. So here we go. Looks like a lobby has been set up here. We shall get started rather soon.
Yes, we will. And Nightshade, one of those maps that you can definitely get a lot done with some good positional play as the Terran player. And as the Zerg, it is on you to make sure that they don't get any of those real tough positions for you. Because if they do, it's your fault. That's how StarCraft works.
Yep, everything is your fault in StarCraft.
Pretty much.
Oh man.
All right.
Everybody that who plays team games is like, yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So we have spawning up in the top left position, representing Team LP, up 1-0 in the series with a nice 1-1 roach timing. It is Zerg player Impact. That cute Carbot Zergling.
And spawning at the bottom right, he's the blue Terran player. Not so cute Carbot, but at least a really cool Brave Star. Kind of looks like a bear and an eagle and a kind of a little lion or something. But anyway, how he is Dream.
Is that a panther?
Looks like a panther or some cougar or something. I'm not sure. But either way, it still
Yeah.
looks cool.
Oh, looks awesome. So once again, it looks like Impact really favors this build. He likes this this early gas, this early pool. And it just seems that this is the way that he approaches the ZVT matchup, and it's worked for him so well. So far, very well, I should say. He has been... Let's take a look at his TBZ throughout the tournament. So, yeah, he 2-1'd Future, and the one game he lost was definitely not because of the opening. If anything, the opening put him in the best possible position to win that game relative to any of the TBZs he's played, because he got the scouting on Future's early attack. And then Future went for proxy 3 racks, and it didn't pay off for him in response to the early gas, early pull, and a much earlier speed that Future probably wasn't prepared for. But this is this game.
Yeah, and this game is already different from last game because Impact has already pulled out at least one drone off gas, so probably won't see that same roach opening as we saw last game. Probably just gonna get some speed and just play out a normal game, as I don't see him pulling out any rabbits out of the hat thus far.
Another interesting difference is he did go for that first set of lanes that he did favor in every early game against Future here. In addition, and nice pull from Dream. He is gonna most likely save that SCV and should be able to save this Marine, and he will be able to get the wall up in time. Impact sees what you expect, which is Reactor on the factory. Oh, but this is not something you necessarily expect. Tech Lab coming down on the factory. And that is something that, well, Impact will scout in a little bit with this pneumatized Carapace on this Overlord. But it's a little bit wonky, a little bit different. Oh, and he actually gets into the base, kills the Marine. This is really nice. And he's going to pick off 2 SCVs already. May get a couple more even here. Oh, man, this is really nice for Impact. And really rough for Dream. A third SCV goes down. Oh, man, this is actually brutal.
Yeah.
So I think Dream's game plan is to do a set. No? Okay, is this... Oh, wow, look at that. Look at how those change. So it's actually going to be most likely... Oh, I was thinking BCs, but it's going to be Cloak Banshee. All right.
Yeah. And also it looks like he's going to transition into mech, I think, with that floating barracks. Or maybe so, maybe. Looks like... Yeah, it looks like he's not really doing much with the barracks, so it looks like he's going to probably transition into... Oh, wait, actually, might be a mistake, actually. He's, like, kind of lifting it, or kind of landing it back once again. But he had the Overlord does come in with that Overlord speed, will scout everything, and that should give him ample time to get the anti-Banshee defense up.
So this is actually kind of funny for both players. So what Dream was doing right there is he was actually using that barracks because he doesn't need it right this moment. He was going to use that to scout, get the high ground vision on that Overlord, and with 4 Marines take it out. However, Impact was going for the Overlord speed, so it wasn't there, which ironically meant that Dream could throw down the 3rd command center where the Overlord should have otherwise had vision. So now, in like a weird situation, they both accidentally eat each other, if that makes any sense. Like they both made moves that were wonky and ended up being against their own best interests. But it is actually going to be bio here. 2 more barracks follow this up.
It's kind of like if two-person going on a blind date and then one of the person kind of ditches it and then the other person actually does ditches it as well, so both of them does ditch the blind date. But
yes, it would be like that, and they both ditch the blind date, and then they end up meeting each other anyways.
yeah.
They're like, oh man, you know what? I'm just gonna go grab a coffee at my favorite coffee shop, and then they end up running into each other.
Jesus, book that movie script there, right there. That's a
Right?
romantic comedy in the making.
Something about like love being blind, or
Yeah. That's actually a nice title.
And oh, look at this. Yeah, quick spire coming out from Impact. I actually missed that. This is a very, very quick spire. And 4 drones go down to these Banshees. This is pretty decent damage, especially if you can rally in with these Hellions at the 3rd base, but they do get deflected by some pretty nicely positioned Lings. And so far, I don't believe that Dream has any idea that this is a Spire just yet. And it's going to be 7 Mutas, and there is really not a lot to deal with this. Medevacs are coming out, and there are a lot of Marines with Stim. Now, potentially, based on the fact that he saw this Overlord at the 3rd, he may be able to figure out what's going on a little bit here with the creep poop coming down. But, oh no, if he moves out, actually, this could be a horrible anti-timing for him. Actually, maybe not, because I don't know if there's anything to actually be able to defend it. But, Overseer sees the main base and sees that there's no turrets in the mineral line. And he is going to dart in very shortly. And these Marines are moving out. And Impact's Ling just sees it. He's going to go in with the Mutas.
Oh, man.
Already can't... Oh, wow, the barracks finished. Sorry, go on.
It's going to be doing a lot of economic damage. SCV being pulled, but the attack by Dream is still commencing. He's going across, but he's still kind of buying time, killing the creep tumor, while these mutas are still getting on top of all these SCVs.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
He's so all in, and the Lings are going to come in for the attack. 1-1 and combat shields is not yet done for the Terran player. However, he does take a pretty favorable fight here, and he will have those 1-1 upgrades coming online very soon. Medevacs are almost empty though, and if he can just get a couple Banes, Impact will be in a fantastic position. He is very far ahead in supply. Actually going for, I love this move from Dream. Recognizes the scenario, has to go for the throat. Drones are pulled off the line though, and with Lings coming in from the backside, this should be enough to hold this off. And the Mutas have absolutely wreaked havoc here. Queens are going after these medevacs. They do take 1, 2 of them out. A Spore Crawler goes after the 3rd, and I think that's going to be the end of this push, as the medevacs are really the driving force here in keeping these units alive in these smaller skirmishes. Meanwhile, still those Mutas have not been cleaned up, and the worker count is actually not bad for Dream, but he can't get any units produced. And if you can't get any units produced, you're just going to die to Ling Bane. And those Lings can take out missile turrets. And the Mutas, they're continuing to just kill every round of production that pops out. Because the barracks, they don't have any reactors. There's only 5 Marines being pushed out at a time here. And Impact is breaking him. He's doing it. He's got his own 1-1 finish. This is really well done from Impact.
Yeah, even the Dirge is not even the planetary, so the Lings can actually snipe at it. But yeah, this is getting pretty ugly for our Terran friend, as his natural is just being ravaged by these Lings. And I think it looks like Impact will finally kind of retreat a bit, but we'll at least get the 3rd or deny the 3rd for just a tad.
Honestly, he's in such a great position. He can just sit back a little bit, take a 4th base, build a drone count a little bit higher, maybe even go up to 72, 75 drones, and just as soon as your opponent takes that 3rd base, either gear yourself up for a push to try and deny that again, or just, yeah, defend on 4 bases, go up to Hive, and be very happy with his position. And oh, look at that. 3, 4 more SCVs going down in the natural. No missile turret was rebuilt. Dream's broke. He can't afford that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I can't even afford medevacs. He's trying to, he built some Vikings to help against the Mutalisks, but his Marines are gonna be stemming a lot, and some of them are actually low life, although some of them are actually full life as they just popped out. But Looks like the mutas will come back for some more. Get some additional SCV and denies on that supply depot.
Yeah, and there was a lot of gas banked for Impact behind us, and he put it all into mutas. Well, no, he put some of it into the upgrades as well, which is really good. Also, those mutas have +1, so they're actually trading quite well against these Marines whenever they can get them in small numbers. But sorry, just wanted to highlight the fact that even with Dream cutting Medivacs, going for the armory pretty much as soon as he could after he stabilized there. Oh, these tanks! Super out of position. But, whoa, Marines. They actually get a couple of those mutas right there. A little bit of a snafu from Impact. But still in a very commanding position in this game. But even with everything happening there, actually it looks like, yeah, no, Dream not even going to go for 2-2. He got the armory, but it's just to get Thors. He's not even starting his own 2-2.
Oh, even it's on top of that turret there at the natural, getting additional SCVs, and it is pretty much Impact's game. Is his pace, is his kind of game to lose, and Dream is just trying to hold on and stabilize as he get his dirt established.
Yes, he is, and he's going to have a real rough time doing this. +2 flyer attacks. So these mutas actually have +2 against 1-1 Marines, and this is a scary situation for those. Ooh, and he's actually, wow, a little bit adventurous is Impact, but he actually finds a tank. Really nice. Really, really nice right there.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, his creep spread has been out of this world good. And another positive benefit of what he's been doing here, he's been forcing a lot of stims out of his opponent. Dream has very low medevac energy, and he's going to find most of the Marines segmented off here, and he is definitely going to force a cancel, if not win the game here, as 2-2 finishes up for the Zerg player. GG's typed out. Very well played by Impact. Really grabbed the bull by the horns in that game.
Yeah, and it all started from the beginning where he kind of the momentum shifted to his favor after the initial links got through into his main base. He actually delayed the starport just a bit, and I think also the build order of Impact. He started off with the Overlord speed, was able to scout the starport with the Tech Lab, Cloak Banshees, and was able to pretty much not take too many damage from it, and just good overall play there by Impact.
Yeah, really strong play from Impact right there. And understanding the strengths of his own build and utilizing them really to perfection, I would say. Doing a fantastic job there.
Yeah. And also a little bit lack of scouting by Dream, as that Mutalisk switch did catch him off guard, and I think those Mutalisks did so much damage in the mineral line. And as much drones, as much economy damage that Dream did with his counter push with the Marines, I think Dream with his Mutalisk, not Dream with his Impact with his Mutalisk, was able to do more. And he's also one of the players that, he idolizes Jaedong, so he kind of copied his Broodward Mutalisk micro techniques and was able to kind of show that off here in this game number 2.
Yeah, he did a really good job with those mutas. Really, really made a lot happen. Even when it felt like Dream was buttoned up tight, he found first he found those 2 tanks, and then he found another tank, and it was really he was very methodical with his decision making there. So he wasn't trying to pick off small groups of Marines and trade mutas for Marines. He was trying to kill those tanks so that his 2-2 timing would be that much more potent, and being able to kill the third would be a lot easier by keeping that tank count low. And it was really smart decision making there from Impact. It felt like he had a game plan basically from start to finish. Meanwhile, there was so the fact that he got in also with those 4 lings and was able to kill 3 SCVs, it really probably put Dream on the back foot in terms of like 3 SCVs is a fair amount, but it's not the end of the world. You can definitely come back from that. But it makes you feel like you have to play a lot tighter. So you're like, okay, maybe I don't scan here. Maybe I don't SCV scout. Maybe I don't try and go into the main. Like, I'm just looking to tighten my own build up in any way that I can. And I said it first, the greediest way you can do that is to cut a scan. And because he didn't scan the main base, he didn't see that Spire. That's not to say he would have scanned, or he would have scanned even in the correct place if he had scanned, but it meant for sure that he didn't. And that was really, it was those mutas that really gave Impact the total control of that game. Because Dream's push was, it still did a little bit, but Impact's mutas did so much more.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like
That's impressive.
Yeah, that's
Sorry, go on.
certainly impressive. And next series we'll have very soon is going to be, of course, SOS versus Impact, PVZ here. So that should be good.
Winner will advance on to play Zest in the second semifinals, best of 5, and second place in the group will go on to face TY. So I'm curious as to which player either of these would prefer to play. SOS historically has been very good at PvP, so I feel like he'd be pretty okay with playing against Zest, or playing against a Protoss. But Zest is Zest. Once again, he kind of can make magic happen with his units sometimes. Impact, on the other hand, I have no idea who he would prefer to play between Zest and TY.
I feel like maybe he'll probably like playing against TY. I think Impact is one of those players that kind of really like those games where it's just like really fast paced, really APM heavy, and then it forces him to react really fast. So I mean, I'm not sure, but my guess would be Impact will probably prefer TY. Although TY is I feel like if you look at it right now, kind of their status, TY is probably playing a bit better than Zest, at least this year.
Yes, but that being said, I would also, I would say TY is much more consistent, but Zest has also had a much higher ceiling, I think.
Right.
Because the games we've seen, but even then, I don't know, because the games between TY and Serral, TY's builds were, even though Serral won that series ultimately 3-1, TY looked so freaking good. Like he looked very, very good. And this was when Serral was probably the most dominant period.
Yeah, I think him, TY, and Maru, of course, I think, especially in 2018, put up a really good fight against Serral, and it's pretty surprising how TY is still at the top of the game, because he's if you guys don't know, he's actually a caster as well for the Korean group, the Korean commentators. So in order to, I mean, you've seen in the past, like a lot of the players that kind of transition into being a caster, their game kind of diminishes a little. They kind of slide down. But TY, he's still there.
If anything, he stepped it up. He's become better since being a caster, which is insane.
Yeah.
And you really got to respect that that natural ability, but also the fact that analyzing the games on a constant basis has probably helped him. But we're in a different matchup right now. We have spawning up in the top right position, representing Team LP. It is the red Zerg player, Impact.
And spawning at the bottom left, we have our blue Protoss, currently showing as barcode, but he is actually SOS.
Fun fact about this particular barcode: this is a barcode he actually plays random on at the beginning of his streams.
Oh, nice.
So something already a little bit different from the first series here. This was the first map in his series versus what was the Zerg player he went up against? Sue. Also, that's something I want to talk about a little bit. But yeah, a little bit different is that he's actually using the gateway to fully wall off, as opposed to making it kind of a part of the wall and then there's the pylon behind it. Not sure if there's anything to that.
Well, it does leave the left side, open ramp area a little bit more exposed, but I think the way SOS is kind of walling off is he's going to use his Nexus as part of the wall, and hopefully maybe later on he will at least try to start walling off that other ramp area with the 1 mineral patch.
Yeah, I expect he will. This is a good security kind of against in case someone decides to mine that mineral patch out. But we do see already Impact going a little bit off meta, going for the. Was in response to a hatch block, but it was still the gas pool once again into that expansion, and he actually allowed himself to get blocked at the natural. So SOS still going to be able to take advantage of this potentially with a chrono boosted adept. Will he chrono the second one or just let it finish? Yeah, he's just going to let it go normally. But this one Zergling will get into the main base. It is going to scout. First of all, that the second pylon's in the main, which is good knowledge, but that the tech building has not yet started for SOS.
Yeah, looks like First Adept will finally arrive into the main base. Let's see if it finishes the scout out. The shade. I assume he would let it shade. Yep, he does. As there's not much here.
Oh my god, look at the range on that thing. It was still able to get the shot off somehow. Nice save on the second drone by Impact though. But is this Adept actually going to go down? It's very close.
Oh.
Yeah, it does go down. Meanwhile, in the natural, Impact. Oh wow, look at that juke. And this is going to be a fantastic scout. He is going to see that it is actually the same build from SOS as that previous series. It's going to be double gateway follow-up.
Oh, it's actually going to be pretty scary as the rest of the links are coming in. And there's... Oh, actually, no. There's a second Adept that just popped out. So I think he should be okay.
Yeah, he should be able to hold this off, no problem. But with the Ling in the main base, he actually picked off a probe right there. Got himself into a little nice position, and he's actually just continuing to scout around, seeing that there's no follow-up tech just yet. Oh, robotics facility just started. If he could see that, that would be really nice for him. And he is going to see it. That's a pretty big scout for him. Meanwhile, does Impact see? Yes, he does. He sees the Adepts going across the map here.
And that's going to actually force a bunch of links as he is trying to transition to Roach, as he did see the Robo earlier on. And he's got to be careful not to get surrounded.
Oh, nice. Oh, actually he kind of derped a little bit there, but still going to be able to get... Oh, wow. Actually, all of the Adepts barely got out. Those had to be... Each of those Adepts was one hit away from death. Meanwhile, in the main base... Impact kept that probe or that Zergling alive for so long, and it actually was super disruptive to his opponent there. Really nice multitasking from Impact, blazing away at a casual 350 APM.
Just that little?
I know, right? Amateur.
Yeah.
When I use lots of corrosive vials with rapid fire, I can get up to 350. Heh. Totally counts. No, it doesn't. So look at this. We see SOS actually not taking a gas at the natural as well. I don't think that that's going to get recognized necessarily. Yeah, no, Impact shouldn't recognize that because he would have assumed that his opponent would have taken the third and fourth gas at the same time. Oh, does this Ling see it? No, not even close. Lings. Oh, wow. Look at this. They're actually going to get on top of a couple sentries. Forces out a force field. And this may be enough to tip him off that something's happening from SOS, but he is preempting it with his own Roach Ravager Ling push. Oh no, he's got to be careful with those Roaches and Ravagers. They are so far exposed. And Impact cut workers, and he's all-inning into an all-in, and this most likely is going to work very poorly for him. Oh yeah, with a War Prism out, this is going to be so difficult to get anything done here. Oh, but the files actually rain down. Oh my god.
Just
still though, the micro on the stutter step was actually good on those sentries, but this is still scary. This is a lot scarier than I would have expected. He's not even using the War Prism actually.
Yeah, and Impact kind of
oh my god,
forcing him into a corner here.
Yeah, he is. Really good usage of these vials. This is actually exquisite vial usage, I would say. And Impact takes down game one after I thought for sure SOS was going to be in a position to hold that, but not a chance. Impact cutting his opponent's throat right there. My goodness.
Yeah, you know what? If you looked at it, I think you just basically had mostly one Immortal as well as a bunch of sentries, and sentries are good against I guess light units, but with that many zerglings and roaches, I don't think it was like he needed basically more kind of oomph into his army, like maybe a few adepts or possibly boost out a second immortal. But yeah, was able to corner him into that little corner, and then the rest of the sentries were just evaporated to those roaches. So well done there by Impact.
It was, but I really feel like it was SOS making mistakes here. He didn't even utilize his wisdom.
Yeah.
He had such an and he ate massive biles. Like he took so much damage. There was 2 biles that combined. They didn't kill any, but they combined to hit 5 sentries, which is 300 damage.
Yeah, that's nasty.
300 damage to start the fight. Oh, and then sorry, I'm rewatching right now. There was another bile that hit a sentry. It got right on top. Yeah, it got on top of another 2 sentries. So combined with biles, he did 420 damage to an army that didn't have a ton of combined health.
Yeah,
like that was like maybe a quarter of its total health.
Mm-hmm. And with that many sentries, I think it would have probably been really good idea to have him do a hallucinator scout, see what the Zerg is up to. I think if he saw the incoming roaches, he would have at least started making shield batteries and getting a kind of a better wall, and a lot more units. Maybe even chrono boosting those gateways to get more units out. So with the lack of hallucinator scout, he wasn't aware that that big of attack was coming.
And part of that, once again, it was the same thing that we saw in Impact versus Dream, where Impact was just being very annoying with small groups of units in the early game. So against Dream, it was those first couple lings getting in there, killing some SCVs, getting a lot of scouting. In this game versus SOS, it was that one ling that was running around inside of his SOS's base for a really long time. Like, it stayed alive for like 2 minutes after it should have died. And then even at the third, he baited out a couple force fields. He made sure his opponent wasn't even thinking about scouting. He didn't kill any sentries, but those force field baits were very important. And it's like little things like that that make me think that Impact is a really complete player for the style he plays. So he's got all aspects of it figured out to the point where, oh man, some really impressive stuff. I'm just very impressed.
Yeah, he is playing like a champ right now, and he is one game away from actually moving on to the semifinals, which is pretty dope, because if you get to the if you get into the semifinals, the minimum amount that you will go home with is $150. So that is a nice, good cash prize there, and then we'll see if he can do it.
And not just do it, but potentially do it off the back of a 4-0 map score.
Yeah.
He is on the cusp of that right now, spawning up in the top left position. It is the Red Zerg player from Team LP. Give it up for Impact.
And spawning at the bottom right, we have our blue Protoss player from Generic Green Wings. It is SOS.
Going for a quick pylon scout here. Is he going to mix it up? Forge? No, it's a gateway. Of course, it's a gateway. And, ooh, look at this Impact. Adjusting to his opponent, going for the 15 hatch here. Love it. I love it a lot, actually. So this probe would have been able to get the deny here, but because Impact, he's like, nope, you're going to go for this this hatch block again. I'm just going to cut one drone, and I'm going to get what I need. I'm going to get this hatch at the natural when I want it. Very, very nice on-the-fly adjustment. And I like that a lot.
Yeah, and looks like, he's also adapting to the map. You've seen him going for that faster pull throughout the whole series, but this time around, he's actually, because he recognizes the longer distance, path distance, he's going to actually throw down a hatchery first before the pool.
Yes, I think he did still. Well, I don't know. I think he did still maybe want to do that in the last map. But I think just because Zest went for that pylon block at the natural, he was just like, nah, it's fine. I'll just go gas pool. But he may have just been planning that from the start. You would have to like talk to him to figure out for sure.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, on SOS's side of the map, we do see a pretty standard opening. Not sure. No, it was not gas before gate or anything crazy like that. And it is going to be a quick warp gate to start things up, so it looks like it is not going to be a Stargate opening on this map. I think we may see a Twilight Council here. He's actually, interestingly, only putting 2... Oh, there we go. Rallies the third probe into the gas, just focusing on mineral income a little bit more. We'll see what his tech building is in probably just a moment.
Yeah, he's actually delaying it a bit just because I think the Overlord is still there. Although he does have a pylon in his main base, so he can definitely throw... Oh, it looks like he's throwing additional gateways here.
Yep, same build as he's done in... Is this every map that he's gone 3? No. He opened Proxy Oracle in one of the TVZs. Oh, look at that. The Lings actually get him on top of the Adept. They actually block it and manage to pick it off there. That was so weird. It looked like the Adept was not trapped, but it was just barely... They were like sticking it to the wall.
Yeah.
That was so weird to look at.
And that's unfortunate for SOS because that means he only has 1 Adept to harass with. And you know, it takes 2 Adepts to kill one-shot drones, so he's got to wait for an additional Adept and possibly another one just to wall off while he's getting his Twilight Cancel, it seems. So, and this Overlord, we'll see the additional gateways.
Everything it needs. And he's even going to double back, and he will probably see this Twilight Council because there's no anti-air right here. First 2 Adepts are coming across the map, and we should see 3 more warped in very shortly. Oh no, it's going to be a Stalker and 2 Adepts. Okay, so he's actually going to try and pick off this Overlord at the natural.
Oh,
is he going to see the Twilight? Oh, Impact. Oh, he just barely catches a glimpse of it. And that should let him know that it's probably going to be Resonating Glaives. Oh, where did those other 2 Adepts warp in? Oh, they were at the front. Okay.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, third base, there is some sneaky little Adepts just waiting. Just waiting. I like this a lot. I would actually love it if he waited. Oh, no, he's going in now. I was going to say I would have loved it if he had just waited. Oh, nice. Gets a larva. That's not too bad. But, sorry. I keep interrupting myself. I would have loved it if he'd waited until the other attack went into the natural or maybe the main with those his main force, and then just sends those 2 Adepts to the third and just pretends like nothing happened, you know? But he wanted to rally up with the main force, and he's going to have 10 Adepts coming in here. Yeah, but Impact will have Roaches and a lot of Speedlings.
And I feel like he's probably not going to commit yet, as Glaive upgrade is still not done yet. It's close, but it's not actually done yet. But also DT Shrine is about to go along with this, so we can expect a DT follow-up. And looks like he's going to possibly... No, let it finish. Nope.
Yeah, he's just posturing for now. You don't want to glaive into, or sorry, go into that many units. It is a lot of units from Impact. You're actually able to pick off a Ro8 right here, and now he will let them finish, as there's not that many units on top of, from Impact at the third base. But he will lose a couple of Adepts here, picks off a drone, and he will be forced to shade out. But meanwhile, in the main, there were 3 Adepts, but they actually get tracked on by Impact, and Impact is doing a much better job at holding this off than Sue did. And even while that was happening, he went for a little bit of harass at the third, but wasn't able to get too much done, just got a pylon. Still, that's pretty nice. Actually, no, it was very nice. It supply blocked SOS for a little bit.
Oh, nice.
And look at that. Even more little things going much better in this game for Impact than they did Sue versus SOS in a similar scenario. We did see a DT warped in somewhere. Oh, there's 3 of them actually, and they're just walking across the map. Are there any Overseers on the map? There are 3. Oh, wow, look at this Impact. He saw the blur, and he's going to have Overseers in position at his bases. This is fantastic. Going to be able to kill one of the DTs at the natural. One at the third gets damaged, but not going to be killed. But the fact that this did no damage is really, really good for Impact. And Impact's got a Spire very nearly done against an opponent that has gone double Robo Immortal.
Oh. Yeah, that is not good, because if he does not see this, see the Mutalisk switch, and with no blink, oh man, that's gonna be tough.
Impact has had an impeccable defense, by the way, so far. The amount of potential harass that there has been in this game, I'll tell you myself, I would have lost 60 drones to this for sure, even though I would have only made 35. You know.
Well, to be fair, a lot of Zergs I think would have really had trouble with this.
Oh, for a second I thought that Overseer was actually going to get away. Yeah, no, a lot of this is a very difficult thing to see. But Impact lost 1 drone for the first part of that. He does lose another 3 here, but that is not bad at all for him. And the Mutas just get scouted as they're popping out, and that is much earlier than they could have been scouted, but much later than you want to scout them. Oh, and he's going to go into the natural. Finds a couple probes already. And even finds an Artosis pylon here that could potentially come in handy for him later. This is really nice damage. 7 probes going down in a situation where I do believe SOS wants to all-in his opponent. That's not an ideal scenario. Meanwhile, Warpism in the main base is actually going to be bringing some DTs in there. And Impact, he's in position as well.
Yeah, look at
these units, though.
That's such a great reaction time by Impact.
And important to note, he does have pneumatized Carapace, so he'll be able to move those Overseers a lot quicker. And at the third base, a bunch more probes going down, actually. A lot more probes, and so much value being produced from these Mutas. And Impact is really putting himself in a position to 4-0 this group against extremely good players. Oh, he's going to get into the main base, it looks like, with some Zerglings. And I know he's going to forfeit that and actually go for the big surround here. And Muta's coming in, Lings, Roaches, Ravagers. I don't know if SOS is going to have even a chance here. Forest Immortal gets picked off. 2 more are being kited back, but there's just not enough Protoss in Impact. He 4-0s.
What a showing by Impact. Wow.
Truly impressive stuff coming out of him. And showing why he is so good in these online tournaments. In this tournament so far, he is a hefty 8-2. Really, really nice stuff. And he's going to be going on to face Zest.
Yeah. And I mean, if he puts up a showing, the similar showing against the caliber of SOS, I mean, he's got a pretty nice chance against Zest. But of course, Zest is still a beast, so we'll of course look forward to that matchup in tomorrow in the semifinals and finals. Remember, guys, tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern Time here at the same channel, you can catch Impact versus Zest.
Brought to you, of course, by Alpha X, Afrika TV, and Snoopy. Going to be casting, observing, and who are you casting with tomorrow?
I'll be casting with my friend Salavanth. So he casted with me yesterday, so he will be returning tomorrow.
Nice. Nice. And what can you tell us about the sponsors of this event?
Yes, speaking of support and from Afrika TV as well as FX, we also have a sponsors support from Salad Technologies. Yes, if you guys don't know what Salad Technologies is, basically they provide an app for you to take advantage of your GPU during idle time. So whenever you're not using your GPU, such for gamings or video editing, you can actually turn on the Salad app and start chopping some salads. And what that will do is it'll earn you rewards that you can put towards, such as gift cards to things like Spotify, Amazon, Hulu, Netflix, all those gift cards that you can get. If not, you can actually get Steam credits or maybe even game codes and game credits as well. And if you also mine long enough, you can actually earn credits to things like such as peripherals such as mouses and keyboards. And if you're in the holiday spirit and you want to actually use that rewards to donate to charities, Salad actually partners up with a few charities that you can actually put your rewards towards to and help out all those organizations. So yeah, that is they have a pretty dope app and service provided to you that you can take advantage of. You can check it all out. Excuse me. You can check that all out at salad.io.com.
Nice. Very cool. And yeah, definitely if you can earn, honestly, Google Play gift cards, for example, a lot of fun. You
Yeah,
play any mobile games, you're like, it's free to play, but like kind of sucks for free to play. You don't want to do that. You can just throw down that Google Play gift card, and all of a sudden, still free to play. But you got yourself a little bit of an advantage there.
absolutely.
I've been playing Galaxy of Heroes. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, just saying.
Nice. All right, so let's go ahead and update the scoreboard for Sue versus Dream will be our next matchup, which will be a ZVT, which is happens to be my favorite matchup.
Yes. The kind of ZVTs I love are the kind we saw. We didn't get to see it develop past a certain point because Impact just took control of it. But like similar to the ones you saw between Dream and Impact. With you got mutas running around. Ideally, you'd have like drops running around the whole time. Widow mines everywhere. Splitting versus Widow mines. Marine splits versus banelings. You know, the pinnacle of Heart of the Swarm ZVT. A lot of people didn't like playing it, but there is no denying that it was so high level in terms of the mechanical requirement from both sides. It was absolutely unreal.
Yeah, those are fun, like matchups that allow you to have like a lot of micro potential and a lot of APM that needs to be exerted. That is this beautiful StarCraft.
I think that might be, and there may be some people who agree with me, but I think that might be the closest to Brood War that people would think StarCraft 2 was. But you could also argue that because is it just a little bit different? But doesn't matter. We're not talking about that right now. That's a very long discussion for another day. And we have spawning down in a bottom right position, representing Brave Star Gaming, Eagle, Bear, Panther. It is the Terran player Dream.
And spawning at the top left, we have our blue Zerg player from Chivo SC. It is Sue.
Yes, it is. And he's going to go for a hatch first. Isn't going to be going for any kind of super safe build where, you're just not too... or you're like super paranoid about a proxy racks. He's still crossing his T's and dotting his I's. You can see based on his Overlord scout pattern, he's looking around his base a little bit. He's still worried about it, but he's not letting it dictate his own play. Of course, on the Korean ladder and of the Korean meta, proxy raxes are a very, very normal part of any standard Terran arsenal in a best of 7 or best of 5 or even best of 3. It's just something they do.
Yeah, I think we saw a lot of games from TY in this tournament alone where he utilized a lot of proxies and was pretty successful. As you can see, he's made it to the semifinals, so it definitely worked out for him. But looks like Dream will go for a pretty standard opening instead of any proxy shenanigans.
Yeah, no, very, very standard. He did. Looks like he may. Yeah, no, I think he went gas first, so he should be going straight into the reactor, I do believe. Yeah, he will be going straight into the reactor to follow this up. Once he gets that extra 50 gas, there it is. Boom. So something interesting to note, not this series, but the player that had the most success against Impact of all the players he went up against was actually Future. Future, the American player, was on the cusp of actually 2-0ing him, but he made an incorrect decision, I think, based on when he was proxy 3-raxing and wasn't able to finish it. But it's just something to note, It's very interesting.
Yeah, possibly in the future, no pun intended. Possibly a Dream can, kind of do the same thing where he would do a proxy Dreax and actually commit to the attack and kill Su. But Su, he's quite the strong player, so things like Cheesins and stuff, I think he is inept to defend against. But oh, actually, nice little creep tumor there. Creep tumor snipe.
That was fantastic grenade, knocking the queen out of the way and giving him the freedom and space to go after that. I was thinking about diving back in for that second tumor, but he recognized it's better to keep my Reaper alive here, and I think he's right about that. I don't even think he was going to get it necessarily, so I think it was a good idea. And look at this. He's going to use the Hellions to cover a scout here with the Reaper. It does get turned away by the queen, but it was a nice little move. If Lings had tried to surround that Reaper, he would have gotten them from the low ground with those Hellions.
Yeah, but he's got to be careful. Link speed has finished. 6 more links on the production tab. I think that's the pretty. Oh, actually, you know what? It's a bit late as the Hellions do dive into the natural. Let's see how many drones he can get. Oh, no block off in the ramp area.
That's really unfortunate right here, and he's going to lose a fair number of these drones. Already 7 going down, and yeah, those safety lings, as you said, were just a little bit late, and that is really costly. 9 workers go down, and it still hasn't been cleaned up. He's going to lose some more lings for this, but he will get the cleanup relatively efficiently towards the end. I think Dream's going to be pretty okay with this, especially when you look at the production tab. He's got a BC on the way, and a really common issue that happens when something like that, when your Terran opponent pulls something like that, is the overlords. You can sometimes forget about them. And he spent all his larva, so it wasn't the end of the world. It wasn't like he was hard supply block for a while. But he did get, it wasn't like he couldn't build any drones, but he did get hard supply blocked at 58 for a good solid 20 seconds or so. And that can be really costly. So in addition to the direct damage, there was some indirect damage there too. We will see Su's Ling is able to actually scout the 3rd command center going up, which is a really nice scout. That's very important. Know that your opponent's not all inning, but he doesn't know about the BCs, I don't think.
Oh, the first.
No, he's
BC.
got no idea.
Yeah, he's going to teleport into the natural and possibly even do a double prong attack with these Hellions into the dirt base. So it's going to be up to Su to defend both places at the same time. As you can see, the Overlord does catch the Hellions, so he looks like he's going to position his queens and links correctly. But the BCs are still unattended to.
Yeah, and this is just such an annoying position because you need enough queens to fight on each side. And Dream, if he goes after... Oh, he was a little bit late, but he could have gone after that queen. Still, even just keeping one of those mineral patches kind of occupied, I guess, is really annoying. And I would like to see Su actually move that one Spore Crawler a little bit further up there. And Su actually does a fair bit of damage to this BC, but Dream, he's refusing to commit, but he's still getting decent damage. That being said, Su is up to a crap ton of drones right now. And Yamato Cannon's about to finish. Oh, is he going to go after this high energy queen? Yeah, on the right side. Now, teleport comes off of cooldown. Oh my god, it was one hit. One hit away from dying.
4 life on that BC's. Oh god.
Oh my god. You've got to be kidding me. As the 3rd player, oh, it just makes me want to put my face through the monitor.
Oh, yeah. I feel ya, man.
Oh, no. The 2nd BC is going to teleport towards the 3rd. That is... I cannot tell you how frustrated Su is right now. He is absolutely livid about that. And, yeah, you're seeing his macros start to slip a little bit here. He's floating quite a few minerals. He's got a Spire on the way, so he will be going into Corruptors here to deal with these BCs. But this is yeah, he's not feeling comfortable right here.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't believe one hit. Oh my goodness.
And so far, it looks like Dream will dive in once again into the dirt base with these Hellions. But you gotta be careful. There's a lot of queens and roaches there. But that BC is still doing damage at the mineral line. It actually prioritizes on the queen. And now it's going to go ahead and Get out of there just barely once again. Oh,
Those two
man.
BCs have survived with a combined 38 HP. 38 HP between the two of them in terms of leftover. And the beauty of these things is they have Yamato. So as long as he gets out with this one, basically right now, which I think he's going to be able to just walk home and repair it. Corruptors should not be able to catch it, I don't think. He's going to be able to be super obnoxious and annoying with those. The worst case scenario would be, though, if he does not scout the Corruptors and then he blinks in with the two BCs and then just loses them, basically. Like, he would still be able to Yamato down a couple Corruptors, get a little bit of value, but wouldn't be ideal. And, oh, sorry, go on.
All things considered, I mean, left and right, he's been getting harassed by these BC and Hellions. All things considered, he's still in a pretty good position. I mean, worker count, he's still ahead. He's getting his 5th base. He's maxing out really nicely, and he's going to actually catch some of these BC with these Corruptors, actually. Oh, just barely catch one of the first one, and both BCs will be forced to teleport back home.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of talking about there. The only thing for Dream in that scenario is he didn't get to Yamato with the first one. So it actually ends up being closer to an even trade when you take into account the cost of the repairs. But it's important to note the repairs only cost 25% of the equivalent value of the BC. So let's say you have to repair a BC up, or well, let's say between the two BCs they take 100% damage. You're basically only spending 100 minerals and 75 gas. So if you kill a Corruptor for that, that's already worthwhile.
Oh, nice.
And looks like a nice little Hellion run by coming in towards the third base. But look at this wall. That is fantastic from Sue right there, and it's going to really help to mitigate the damage here. He still will get a few drones for go down, but that was worth it for Sue. That was a better trade.
Definitely.
And we are going into mech, so if Dream doesn't go for an early push here, and it turns into one of those longer, drawn-out split map games, all these trades, they do add up over time.
Yeah, and I think Sue recognizes this. He's starting to throw down his infestation pit. He's going to go ahead and maybe possibly tech into Hive and unlock those tier 3 units. But in the meantime, a lot of Yamato cannons will take out some of the Corruptors. But in the end...
He did lose a BC for that, though. So
yeah.
It makes it a lot more expensive. Another Hellion run by there. Picks up 7 drones, but once again... that was closer to even because I think that was, what, 4 Hellions?
Mm-hmm, yep.
So it was pretty much a dead wash at this point. Killing drones is good, but it's not... Unless you're killing, like, 20, 25 drones and Sue's, like, committing across the map and he can't rebuild them because, he's trying to commit. It's not all that important. But another Hellion run by towards the top side. And... oh, wow. Double-pronged Hellion harass. Look at that. Fancy.
Yeah, he does have a good creep spread, so he was able to at least prepare for the right side, although there is a little bit less creep on the left side, which it looks like Sue will try to fix that right now.
Oh, but somehow those 3 Hellions went undetected, and they're going to dart back in, pick off a couple more drones. Oh, no! Oh! Worst timing for Sue.
Oh,
and once
man.
again, that's honestly not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. But man, does that feel crappy as Sue. Oh, that feels so brutal. Like you're like, okay, I'm in position for everything. My creep's picking up. Ah, crap. Okay, these 3, they kind of went undetected, but it's okay. I'm surrounding them. And then you don't realize that you got a bunch of rallied workers. It just feels bad. Behind this, though, Dream has 3-3 mech on the way. He's building a 7th command center. He's got a lot of command centers right now. And he's even going into the Ghost Cloak upgrade. Oh, but look at this engagement in the middle of the map. Some bios come down, but they don't finish off the tanks. And Dream is now going to be able to clear out quite a bit of creep spread. And yeah, wow, look, a lot of multi-prong harassment going down. Hellions at the 3rd, BC's at the 5th, and Yamato's going to come down on the Corruptors. And I do believe, yeah, all 3 BCs make it home.
Oh, but that means that the BCs won't be joining this fight here. And if Sue can get a good surround, then he can definitely clean this up. And that's a lot of tanks in the back. A lot of the initial front line does get cleaned up, but there are still a bunch of tanks here at the back.
Yeah, that was kind of awkward actually from Su there. He only came in from one angle. Had a lot of banelings, which was not ideal against. It was good against the the Hellbats, but they took a lot of tank fire. That was a pretty inefficient cleanup, to be honest, and he didn't even clean it up. And this is not a massive commitment from Dream. I honestly feel like he was planning to trade with these mech units, but he just ended up holding the position. And the cleanup will come down, but this is a brutal angle that, oh my goodness, that Su is engaging through. And because it took so long, Dream actually does have time to get these BCs rallied in here. Ooh, nice corrosive vials do connect on the front one, but there is not enough anti-air. He actually lost all of the corruptors kind of wandering over the army. Oh my goodness, and the Yamato's come down on all these high energy queens. Su may not actually have an answer to these BCs.
And he's got to wait for those corruptors to pop out, but even then, he's going to suffer a lot of drone kills. And, oh man.
Dream a little bit sloppy with the rally, but he's got 3-3 finishing up right now. Oh, and he even blinks out one of the BCs. Now, the corruptors will come down, but this is just so much damage right here. And even sticking around to pick off an extra Ravager, nice attention to detail right there from Dream. And Dream just really put himself very far ahead in this game.
Yeah.
Only thing is I'd like to see him add on the ship weapons as well. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I think ship weapon will definitely help Dream. But Su, I'm a little bit afraid of him. Not only did he suffer a lot of damage there, but he's sticking with Baneling, and or not even Lings, but Banelings and Roaches and Ravagers, which is basically tier 2 units that is better suited for the mid game. But we're here at the getting to the 15-minute mark. It's getting into the late game, so I'd like to see Su start taking to more higher tier units.
Yes, I would also like this massive counterattack coming in on the third base, though. It's completely exposed, but the command centers are going to be able to lift. SCVs will get pulled. He does lose 8, but that's not too much. And, oh, Su, don't commit in there. Loses a lot of Banelings, gets like a tank, and that was a very cost-inefficient trade. Meanwhile, Hellion run by at the third base, getting a lot of drones, 12 drones, so already equalizing the economic damage and then some for a much, much smaller commitment. He did force a lift, though, on the 6th base as well, but this is much, much better for Dream right now. And it feels like Su doesn't really have an answer to this mech style from Dream.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Roach and if your army is Roach and Ravagers and you're down by army supply by quite a lot, double digits, that is not good news for the Zerg. And oh my god, look at those Yamato cannons.
Yeah, taking out so many corruptors. Units lost is over 10,000 in favor of Dream. And we're not at a 30, 40, 50-minute game. This is not even at the 17-minute mark yet. This is really hurting. And I did like that Su went triple Evo to attempt to deal with what his opponent's doing. Oh, this is a good surround. This is going to be a really nice cleanup, actually, for Su. But unfortunately, he hits just before 3-3-2 finishes up for him. And he actually isn't able to clean it up off the back of these fantastic upgrades on Dream's mech. And, okay, there, another rally of units coming in. Nice splits, actually, on those landed Vikings. Something you don't say often. But Su's bleeding out.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Dream can just trade over and over. He's maxed. He just, anything that he mines after this is just bonus and just going into his bank. While Su, he does not have a bank, and he's at 150 or 49 total supply. So this is not looking too good for our Zerg player.
And to echo what you were saying earlier, this is so brutal because it's not like this is 150 supply of Broodlord, Corruptor, Infestor, or Broodlord, Viper, Infestor, Spore. Like, this is 150 supply of Roachling, Bane, Ravager. It is not supply efficient. This is not a quality army he's got. Oh, nice snipe on the Queens. It's really interesting that he's incorporated Ghosts into this, and he hasn't really had a use for them very much. Big attempt on the cleanup will come in, and this may be a cleanup. But ultimately, I think that this is just going to be Sue trading out not efficiently enough against an opponent who is so far ahead. Yeah, and the cleanup isn't even complete. And Dream takes down game 1, and you got to hand it to him. He was making sure he fought in that really brutal, choky location for pretty much the whole game. And no answer from Sue.
Yeah,
Knock, knock,
Dream.
who's there?
Who's there?
No one.
Yeah, Dream just making it happen. Was able to now pull the game in his favor, and Sue is now on the back foot. He is one game away from elimination, which is definitely not what he wants. Dream, though, he is one game away from advancing to the ace match at the very least.
Yes, and I'm sure he wants to advance on. I wonder how he would feel against a player like SOS. SOS with like very, very tricky player. But for now, I'm sure he is just focused on Sue. Definitely didn't want to have anything happen like what happened with Impact. He was playing a lot more careful there, a lot more calculated and safe. He was thinking a little more towards the late game, I think.
Yeah.
And SOS in this tournament so far has had some nice showings in PvT. I remember casting the first stage with you, him versus Cure. He actually played 5 maps versus Cure. And the first map, which was closer to standard, ended up going in Cure's favor with a really, really nice... Actually, no, it wasn't standard. SOS did some weird stuff. But it was still... Cure was able to still take it down. But then the next 4 games they played, SOS just had his number. He just had him figured out in a way that I can't even really comprehend. And I had full vision, so how would Cure have been able to figure it out?
I know, right? All right, looks like Nightshade will be our next map, and here we go.
Yes, we have spawning up in the top left position, showing some really dominant mech play, looking to send himself into that decider match. It is the Red Terran player from Bravestar Gaming. Give it up for Dream.
And spawning at the bottom right, we have our Blue Zerg player from Team Chivo SC, looking to tie up the series and send it to the 3rd game. Can he do it? It is Sue.
Yes, I don't know. If I'm Dream, I'm going mech again. There's no way that I'm not. This looks like playing against me on ladder. Like, I'm just completely clueless against mech. Like, he's got nothing. Sue did not look comfortable at all in that game.
Yeah, he was on the back foot ever since that Hellion run by that killed a lot of his drones.
And to be honest, it wasn't even... It was definitely a nice way to start things off from Dream, and kind of an indicator of the whole game to go. But it wasn't... It didn't put him that far ahead. It was just... It was constant. It was constant, and Sue never found his footing. He never had a good army composition. It was just brutal to watch.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, because he did... even though he did get a few drones with those initial Hellions, that the BC follow was just basically just ravaging the mineral lines, and then after that, it was just constant Hellion run-bys over and over and over again, while just Dream was just sitting back, just like grabbing bases and meching up.
Yeah, and by the time the first fight happened, 3-3 was like well on the way for Dream, and yeah. And it all started off that first BC surviving with 4 HP.
Oh yeah.
It looks like the SCD is going to be able to get the block here. And will he throw down like a supply depot or anything to make sure that this doesn't go up? He just wants to buy time for... yeah, there it is. Bunker starts up, in fact. Oh, no, but he's going to lose this SCV. Oh, my God, it gets away. The jukes and the drone... the drone won't go down, but he is going to be able to deny that. And that is very annoying to deal with as a Zerg player. And this is very interesting. 2 Lings went across the map right here. So this is the kind of thing that some players do like to do when they know their opponent has gone for that SCV block, because they know that the Reaper is on a very specific path, and therefore they should be able to get into across the map. And it looks like he's actually getting into the main here. Going to be able to, take an SCV down take the SCV down that was building that, starport. And there is another low health SCV who's actually getting repaired up. I like that decision from Dream right there. But look at all this lost mining time. Really nice start from Su. Oh, is he going to get this SCV?
Yeah, just barely.
Oh, 1 hit lives. Nice job from Dream, but much better setup there from Su.
Oh, he's actually throwing another 2 Lings across the map, as well as the Hellion and Reaper are making his way across the map. So these two Lings can get actually additional scouting, or even maybe get additional SCVs. But it looks like Su is just gonna go ahead and establish his dirt, get his dirt up and running. And actually looks like he's just parking his Lings there at the dirt of Dream.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense to me. Like I feel like these ones more so are just going to be for scouting to follow up. And it looks like Dream, he did go for the Tech Lab Starport, but this time it's going to be for those Cloak Banshees. And look at this, we see, oh my goodness, deja vu of game 1 right there. Oh, but wow, Dream actually not controlling his Hellions for a moment. They're nice block right there on the Evolution Chamber. That is going to save so many drones. And he still lost a lot of mining. Oh no, Su, no, he didn't have his Zerglings hotkeyed, so he wasn't able to get this round there. And he's actually going to lose 2 more drones as a result of that. He could have mitigated that damage for sure.
Yeah, but definitely not as bad as last game, where he lost a bit more. And now it looks like the Banshee with the cloak is about to be done. There's actually no Spore Crawlers at the basis of Su, and there's no lair, so this might actually hurt.
Not. This may be our 4th 2-0 of the night. It's a little early to call, but it looks like Su is all inning. No, he's droning up. What am I saying? Oh, wow, Cloak just finished in time there. But this is going to be a ton of damage right now. And Su built 5 roaches. He was looking to get some damage done, and as you said, layer was not done. So this is a lot of damage being done, and a lot of mining time lost too. Now he can just sit between the bases.
Oh no.
Still going to be a long time till that layer is done. Ooh, but this counterattack. Banshee, though, is back home to defend. And even the bunker was done, too. Oh, 2 roaches go down in the same... Ooh, nice lift on that depot by Dream. A couple SCVs will go down in the natural, though.
Overall, I think... Ooh, actually, if these Lings can target fire on the SCVs...
Yeah, they actually get about 3 more there. And it's actually Su now quite a bit ahead in the worker count, but he needs to scout that this is going to be bio from Dream. Oh, actually, looks like Dream goofed a little bit there. He meant to start his 2nd engineering bay much earlier than he did, but the first one will finish up. So if he wants, he can start up that +1 attack, but he's gonna have to wait a little bit to get the +2. And it looks like Su is not realizing maybe what he's playing against. His if he did, I don't think he'd be going roach speed.
Ooh, there's actually a bunch of Banshees making their way across the map to harass as well, and roaches, of course, they don't shoot up into the air, so he's gonna have to rely on his Queen and Spore Crawlers to defend.
He did zone those Banshees away at the natural with Queen positioning, but yeah, at the 3rd base, I actually am not a big fan of that Spore Crawler position. I would like to, oh, looks like, okay, so he is actually going to go 1-1 roaches here. Very interesting. I would like to actually see him move that Spore Crawler just a little bit to the left. Just provide a little bit more zoning. Oh, this Hellion run by could be good at the 3rd base. Drone pull's pretty quick, but he's going to lose some drones here. 4 workers do go down. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. I think Su can look at that and be okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, he's way ahead in the workers. He can afford to lose some, but I mean, if he gets too much, though, that's a different story.
And this is what I'm talking about. This Spore Crawler a little bit out of position. And now that left side of the mineral field is locked down for a little bit. That's a little bit awkward right there for Sue. And wow, actually a lot of damage being done right here. And now all of a sudden it's actually Dream who is up on workers. And that is a bit of a nightmare scenario for a Zerg.
Oh my gosh.
Unless you have a lot more army supply. Oh, he's gonna lose a queen here.
So low in health. Oh man, these 3 Banshees just doing so much damage, and finally a queen does arrive, and hopefully, possibly.
Oh, close, but he should get. He should actually get 2 of these. Yes, he will. A little bit sloppy with the. He could have stacked them up. Meanwhile, there was a little push at the third base, and I'm thinking it was meant to be more than a little push. I'm thinking it was meant to be a pretty hefty push, based on the fact that Sue. Actually, no, he builds a couple more drones here. He's going to start a Baneling nest, but it looked like he was maybe going to commit with that. He will elect not to, though. I think that is the right decision. Yeah, he's going to be going into Ling Bane behind this with +1 melee and +2 carapace starting up at about the same time that 2/2 starts up on the Marines for Dream. Ooh, nice deny on the 5th base of Sue. And just good solid play coming out of Dream right here, really keeping his foot on the gas pedal.
Yeah, as the game is going on or progressing, the expansions are kind of gonna get a bit more wider as it kind of goes on the V shape. So it's going to be up to Sue to at least make sure he has enough vision to spot all these drops and harass that are incoming.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, look at this. Nice timing on those Marines. Really, really nice. Meanwhile, he's done still a pretty good job on the defense. He's been in position in most scenarios. Even at that 5th base, he did have the roaches there. They just weren't quite able to... they weren't at the exact right position to keep that hatch safe. Or in that case, drone. But these drops are not... They're not running over Sue. Not yet.
Yeah, he's actually doing a really nice job splitting his army, making sure he's at least balance it to make sure he has enough units in each side. But looks like this base...
4th base.
Oh,
yeah, or
man.
5th base, yeah.
This 5th base is probably never ever gonna come up.
At this rate, it doesn't seem like it. Oh, and Evo Chamber's now a little bit exposed, but army will get back in position. Oh, he actually killed his own creep tumor there. A little bit of misfire right there from Sue. That is unfortunate. And, okay, we see Drilling Claws coming down now once he sees, I believe, those Banes from Sue. And layout for the Terran player. So he did go Factory first as his follow-up, and now he's going up into those 8 barracks as he secures that 4th command center. You see a lot of Terran players, Terran players go for that in TVZ these days. 2nd Factory before 8 barracks. The factory units are so much more powerful. Oh, nice micro on this queen, but a bit of a missed opportunity right there from Dream. That being said, the drop at the 5th base. This time, it will not get that kill. But there is a massive attack coming across the map with 2/2. Oh, but a big surround coming in from Sue. He's going to hit it from multiple angles here. Gets on top of the tanks really before they were well sieged up. But the micro is... No, looks like Sue will be able to push this back off the back of that sturdy Roach Ravager. Ooh, nice splits on those Banelings, mitigating that tank fire. Supplies are very even, though. And because Sue wasn't able to get that 5th base up for so long, he wasn't able to run away economically. But that being said, Hive did finish up. He's adding on 2 more hatches, as I think he might be having a larva issue. Yeah, he is having a bit of a larva issue.
The good thing is that at least he has these... Oh, wait, actually, hold that thought. Looks like there's a big of a skirmish here at the middle of the map. But that 5th base, once again, under attack. Will it go down once again? Oh, man. This 5th base, is it cursed?
It might be. I think you were right about that. Oh, nice target fire from Dream. Takes it down. And there has not been a single mineral mined from this base just yet. So despite the fact that it did get up there for a little bit, your theory holds true in that it didn't really become a base yet. you know? And it definitely does feel like it's cursed.
Yeah.
But Dream is playing a textbook game right now. He is playing some really sharp stuff. And this is where things start to get scary as the Zerg. Once you start getting contained, once they start really shutting down your creep spread, it becomes very uncomfortable because you cannot move out onto the map safely. Little push / drop here. I say drop because he had enough medevacs to pick up everything. And once again, mainly just kind of keeping his opponent back as he even establishes a fifth base. 3-3 well on the way. And he has the ability to transition into Liberators now if he'd like.
Yeah, he's actually going to throw down the 6th base just for good measure. He's like, if my 5th base can't get up, I'm just going to throw so many bases that eventually my 5th base will be up.
Very nice stuff. We're just waiting on, I think, that 2 more starports to come down. Although he may just decide, like, I haven't seen Ultralisks yet. I don't need to add on more Liberators. But the thing is, Liberators are just so good. Why not just add them on, you know?
Yeah.
Dream steps a little bit far into creep, but he's still doing well right now. Ooh, nice Bane connects on those Widow Mines. Able to take them out without too many losses. And Corruptors coming in is really good. Oh, wow, but a big Bane hit on that Ling Bane at the front. But still, Su holds. However, Dream now has his 3-3 finishing, and there is +3 Carapace on the way. Sorry, very nearly done, and +1 melee started up. It is still going to be a bit of an upgrade lead timing for Dream. Burrow also finishing up, which is cool. Also, little... Oh, wow, this is actually... I was kind of expecting this to just get cleaned up, but Dream with some really nice splitting, even on creep, mitigating those Banelings, and actually going to be stepping forward here. I think he should be at... Oh, Su re-engages here, but I don't know that he's got enough. No, he does not. Runs out of Banes. And once again, this is 3-3 bio, and I do believe, despite the fact that the medevacs kind of got chased away / gunned down, Su, well, he will ultimately clean this up. These are Adrenal Glands with 2-3, so... Sorry, Adrenal Gland Zerglings, so they still hit quite effectively, but Su is far behind in army supply right now.
Yeah, even though he cleaned it up, that battle was pretty much very, very efficient in terms of on Dream side. So now he's the one enjoying a really great supply lead. But oh, looks like we have a Corruptor counterattack spewing on that Planetary. Won't get it though.
Yeah, that Caustic Spray ability can be really good, but it's not good when there's units shooting at them. Not unless you've had a little bit of time to charge up. Oh, not too bad from Su. He ends up trading out 3 Banes for a Widow Mine. Or sorry, for 2 Widow Mines, which is with how strong... Oh, no, this is a massive Widow Mine field. Su has to split very, very effectively. Oh, but he doesn't. And once again, it's Dream trading out so efficiently. And this Widow Mine field has not been cleared out yet. But the medevac count has been kept pretty low. No, it's actually at 7. See how... Oh, wow. Dream is on 10 barracks right now, I do believe.
Yeah, he's relentless on this aggression as more Marines coming down onto the north side, almost taking down that 5th base as well. Although he did get 4 drones at least. But this is another big batch of army coming for Dream. And this time around, this is a lot of bio units. Oh.
Look at this Widow Mine drop. Love it. That's going to get quite a few drones here. 7 drones do go down. And I actually really like this from Dream. So he's on 5 bases, but he only has... Well, now he takes another gas. For a while, he only had 7 gas. So he was really focusing on those attacking units. Not focused on, as I said before, adding on, like, Liberators, for example. Ooh, that's pretty nice for Su right there. He manages to trigger a couple Widow Mines relatively efficiently. But he is reeling right now in this game.
Yeah.
And Dream just continues to keep the pressure on. Su cannot get creep spread reestablished at this base. Oh, Queen's going down as well. And this is just such a relentless style from Dream. And Su, I don't think he's got the answer right now. I think this might be the push that finally breaks him. Yep, GG is called. Very well played. Very, very well played right there from Dream. And Su, He's had himself a disappointing day today. 0-4 in his tournament. But we have Dream redeeming himself a little bit, and he's going to be going on to face SOS. What are your thoughts on that matchup coming up?
Oh, that should be a good one. I mean, SOS. We'll see if his mind games works against Dream, but Dream, he's looking really nice against Sue. I mean, he kept his aggression over and over and over, and just not giving Sue any breathing room. And I'm actually quite sad to see Sue get knocked out because I think he's a fan favorite. But yeah, unfortunately for him, his tournament hopes and dreams are eliminated today.
Yeah, he definitely is one of those players that it's easy to love. He's easy to love. I shouldn't say it. It seems very dehumanizing. Yeah, he's easy to love. He works really hard. He's a good player with a good attitude. But he definitely he showed a lot of rigidity, stubbornness, I would say, in his games today. Very unwilling to be flexible. Like not teching up against the mech, not doing anything to disrupt Dream's plans at all. It was kind of, he was letting his opponent be in the driver's seat. And that can be okay if you're doing stuff like what Cyril is doing, where you have perfect scouting at all times, so you always know what's happening. Or you mix in like enough Ling run bys, like someone like Raynor, or like your mechanics are just so pinpoint sharp. Someone like Dark, but Dark's realistically very flexible too. But if you don't have one of those things, or in some cases all of those things, it's going to be a really tough time for you.
Yeah, and there was actually really no counter damage for Sue. Like during, one of the things for Terran, when they're just dropping all over the place, you can actually set up like maybe like 4 or 5 Baneling run by while they're microing, because their attention is on the microing of the drops and the harassment, and they're probably not gonna focus their attention on a Baneling run by unless they're they're paying attention, like Maru or I guess TY would always, of course, look at the minimap. But yeah, I think Sarah, you see that from Sarah, where he's getting harassed a lot, but he would like counter harass with those Baneling run bys, get some damage done, make the Terran pay for focusing so much of their attention on the harassment. So I would have loved to see that from Sue. I think that would have definitely helped him in the game.
Yes, to echo that sentiment, StarCraft is a game of resources, and people think, oh, well, yeah, obviously you have minerals and you have gas. But what people don't think of is that attention is a resource. So if you can do something to draw your opponent's attention away from where they want to put it, you are doing a good thing. So anytime you do that, as long as you're not doing it at the cost of, my opponent didn't want to be looking at his main base, but I flew 17 mutas into 4 Widow Mines, and then he had to look there to see them all die. That doesn't exactly count. But if you're doing it where it's like, there was like a 12 Ling run by, or like you said, like 6 Banes in the 3rd base, and then he oh crap, looks back at that, splits the SCVs. You see that, and then you're like, okay, now I go in with my army, knowing that he won't be microing at the front. So he's, saved 10 SCVs, but then lost the entire army because it didn't even stim.
Mm-hmm. And it's also Ling and Baneling run bys. You don't really need to pay attention that much. You could just queue them. You can shift queue them.
Yeah. And
that makes it easier. So you can actually do the counter harass while actually focusing the majority of your attention on defending the harassment by the Terran. And looks like we have our lobby set up here. And this is going to be SOS versus Dream.
Yes, it is. On first map's going to be World of Sleepers. Going to be pretty nifty series, I think. I wonder if SOS will bust out some more of that cheeky stuff he pulled against Cure. He will definitely use his own style of play. That's for sure. I'm very confident of that. But will we see something more than that? We'll talk about that in a minute, though, because we have an early SCV leaving from this player, spawning up in the top right position of the map. Oh, 2 more SCVs over. Oh, my goodness. It is representing Bravestar Gaming, Dream, the Terran player. And, of course, one of those was to build a depot, but this does mean it's going to be a proxy 2 racks, not just a proxy 1 racks Reaper.
And we'll see if this next player can hold it. ESD Blue Protoss from Jin Air Green Wings. It is SOS.
Yes, it is. And I already like this from Dream. Just the concept of putting the onus back on his opponent. And SOS, he's not thinking about double proxy racks. He's thinking macro, or he's thinking I'm gonna be the one to do something weird in this game.
Yeah, well, the good thing is that he does send the initial, well, the probe scout, so he will be at least we'll be able to see the lack of barracks in the main and start preparing for that double racks.
And he is going to scout the gas as well, most likely. May even go for a gas deal, who knows. But this is most importantly going to allow him to go gate Cybercore as opposed to gate Nexus. And he immediately pulled the probe to build that Cybercore towards where the pylon was. Knew that it'd be silly for me to do anything else. And interestingly enough, this is kind of a better position than where you would maybe normally place your gateway if you were to place it at the right at the ramp, because this is going to be well far back such that it's not going to be exposed to any marine fire.
Yeah, if they do want to commit to the gateway, then they risk the possibility of getting surrounded by those probes and losing all their marines. So nicely placed there.
Yes, and we do have first SCV will go down, but it did manage to finish up the bunker there. And yeah, so we're just seeing a chrono boost on the adept right here. Fair bit of money being saved up right now for SOS. I'm actually surprised that he didn't try and go for like a tech building or something here. First adept, like I said, did pop out, and it looks like, yeah, he is just going to run this by. I like this. So he is going to be looking to go all the way across the map. Ooh, okay, I'm pretty sure other side of the map, SOS was attempting to build a pylon, but Dream did finish the wall in time, making sure that that adept cannot get in. And wow, pylon actually does go down. This is doing a surprising amount of damage, and once again, we still don't have SOS throwing down any tech building. He's been floating between 400 and 500 minerals this whole time. And looks like 5 probes will go down as those marines commit in very deep. And I think this is pretty okay for both players.
Yeah,
But I think I like Dream's position more. Sorry, go on.
yeah, same here. I think if I were in the shoes of either player, I would probably choose Dream at this moment.
I'm just so confused that SOS didn't build a tech building though. Like it's kind of mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, it looks like he finally throws down the Twilight Council, and we'll see if this is for DTs or maybe some blank. What do you think he's going to go for here?
I'm thinking blink. Yeah, and there it starts up immediately. He has done some of these one-base blink plays. Usually that was in response to the proxy meta from... Ooh, look at this. I actually love this. So he's mining out the minerals towards the third base, but Dream is going to scout this. He's going to scout the 3 gates, and he's going to scout that these minerals are being mined out. This is pretty nice for him. So it's going to give him information that his next target should be that third base location for where the natural is from his opponent. Oh, and Dream is actually going to... Oh, he's going to send 3 of the Marines home. I like that. I actually thought he was going to send all 4 and the salvage the bunker, but that won't be the case. Meanwhile, at home, you can see right there he is... Oh, but he does salvage the bunker. Still loses the Marine, but gets that 75 minerals back. Does have the command center very nearly done. Dream does. Little bit supply blocked here, but he actually... No, he is a bit supply blocked. That's unfortunate. Viking here is... I'm actually not too sure what that is for.
Well, if the Protoss is going for Blink Stalkers, I mean, the Viking will definitely be helpful to kind of snap the Observer from him blinking up. So that at least will limit the kind of options of SOS counterattacking.
Yeah, in addition, also, if there's like a War Prism as well. Like, it can be good for that. But I was just curious.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Widowmine drop comes into the main base, but excellent splits from SOS. And only loses 2 probes. Meanwhile, Observer... Oh, it's actually going to be a hallucinated Phoenix that'll provide the scouting for these Blink Stalkers. And they do jump into the main, but they jump right into a tank. Oh, they actually eat a second tank volley. That's very awkward right now, and he probably will lose that one Stalker. Oh, tank's got to be so careful. Oh, man, it sieges up so late. Oh, but nice blink away by SOS there. But he will lose. Oh, he almost loses another Stalker from the high ground, but not quite. Still, this is pretty good for SOS, or sorry, for Dream. But he still has to be careful because he lost that landed Viking. Gonna be taking down that sentry, just barely gets it. That's a pretty nice pick though. That's no more hallucination scouts.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice blink. Oh, that's an awkward Widowmine though. Kind of relying on SOS making a bit of a mistake there.
Yeah, but Dream did not see the Dark Shrine there at the main base, so we'll see if it could if SOS can catch him off guard. But so far, it looks like Dream has a well-established natural with the tank and bunkers. I do not see him losing too much against the DTs. I mean, he does have an engineering bay, and I assume he's saving up for scans, although he is just throwing down the mules right now. Oh, there we go. This first turret.
There we go. That's going to be just in time, I think. Dark Shrine's about 2 seconds away from finishing up. Oh, another Widowmine drop coming in towards the third base. SOS late on the pull, but he gets it just in time. Nice target. Ooh, look at that. Very nice target fire. Manages to get 2 of the SCVs, and then the third one that was kind of awkwardly... or sorry, 2 probes, and then the third one that just popped out.
And his medevac did actually scout the Dark Shrine. We'll see if he does pay attention to it, but looks like Combat Shield is halfway done. And Robotics Bay for SOS, so it seems like he's going to transition into Colossus, or maybe he can possibly...
Oh, sorry. Sorry, go on.
Oh, he might possibly transition to Disruptor since he's already got the Blink Stalkers.
Definitely a possibility, especially going for that attack upgrade. We did see Dream almost had his medevac cornered here on the top side, but he was just barely able to get out of the way. Finally, the third base coming down in the natural for SOS. Ooh, Blink DTs in the natural. Did they get much done? Just 2 workers. Did he lose any of those DTs, though?
I think he lost 1, maybe?
Most likely. You usually don't just make 1 DT.
Yeah, oh no, actually, yeah, he hasn't lost any DT, so he only made 1 DT.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, there you go. Oh, look at that. He was baiting that scan so hard. Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
What a jerk. What a bully. Really nice play right there from SOS.
Will the bully get sniped though? Will the bully get sniped?
Yeah, it looks like he just might. Oh, does drop the DT though, so he is going to force out another scan at the very least. Oh, did that DT get a kill? No, it didn't look like it. That was so weird. It was like connected to the Marines, but it didn't attack. Not sure what happened with his medevac, but it did get pushed away. Meanwhile, we have Dream already has his +1 done a while ago. And, oh, I don't know about that stim. Oh, man, if SOS just kites, he's going to kill a lot of these Marines. But he's a little bit worried about the tanks behind it. It was only 1 and a few more Marines.
Oh,
so he could have actually maybe gotten a little more.
I think he was planning on sandwiching it with the other medevac drop, but...
it ends up going the other direction, does SOS. Kind of a bit of a lucky choice, but also good on him for just being active in general. And I like this observer placement right here from SOS. He kind of put it on the high ground at the natural of his opponent, and he's going to be able to see the scouting, or sorry, see the rallied units if they're coming across. And looks like it's actually going to be Dream chilling for a bit. He's not going to be committing to this.
Yeah, looks like he's actually went for really fast Ghost. He's getting the Ghost upgrade as well. for the bigger EMP. And but the first he's got to worry about this attack here. 3 Colossus here for SOS. So that should at least be able to hold off. But there's actually a medevac drop at the natural. It gets 7 probe kills.
That is nothing to shake a stick at, and he gets away with it. He is now up 10 workers. Meanwhile, DT does come into the third base. Kit picks off, yeah, it's going to be 3 workers, and will delay this missile turret, but nice cancel on that. And there we go. That DT will pay with its life, though. And I'm sure the SCVs appreciate the vengeance of their avenging of their brothers. Oh, this Marine has a very important job. It is going to scout the entire army, and this will allow Dream to position his army a little bit more properly here. Liberation Zone sets up, and this is good stuff from him.
Oh, the tanks was unsieged, but does finally sieges up. But the majority, or I guess the other half of his of Dream's army is actually across the map doing a kind of a drop at the natural. So we'll see if SOS does recall or if he commits to this attack.
Ooh, some big EMPs landing on a lot of the army. Despite the fact that it's that many Colossus, there are still some Vikings with the Force. And yes, it will force the recall out. But he could snipe the Colossi. Yes, he gets one of them. And this is, yeah, he's not even going to pick up here. Just going to try and target down one of the Stalkers, but won't even get it. There was just so much firepower focused on those tightly clumped Marine Marauders. But Dream does force the recall, and he gets 2 of those medevacs out of here. Or does he? Oh, man. SOS is so good at vectoring his units. Like, making sure they take... In this case, you know, he didn't catch them because Dream cut back a little bit. But he was so close to getting those.
Yeah.
And I've seen him being very consistent about being really good about that. Just impressed. That's what I'm saying.
Interesting enough, both players has yet decided to go for their 4th base. Looks like SOS is going to try to look to get something done, as he does have quite amount of units. Currently 113 army supply to 104 of Dream. Upgrades are equal though, 1-1, and ooh, nice little blink there. Does snipe the only one of the 2 remaining tanks. And oh boy, wow, this is pretty much a rollover for SOS.
Yeah, he was not building probes behind that whole thing, and he was just pumping army units. Had that +2 attack finish up, and caught his opponent kind of out in the middle of the map a little bit, and unsieged. And part of the reason he was able to... Oh, wow. EMPs do hit all of the Blink Stalkers, and these are very low on shields. Oh, wow. Weird blink forward. But there's just too much here from SOS. And it was a pretty inefficient fight, but it's still going to work out for him, I think. Oh, yeah. 38 workers gone down. Oh, my goodness. Oh, but nice splits right there from Dream. But there's Colossus. There's just too much. Just too much Protoss. And despite a last-ditch attempt that looked like it might have held, SOS will take down game 1.
Yeah, so that was pretty surprising, because I felt like the game was kind of very back and forth, typically even throughout the game, but catching Dream's army out in the middle of the map, his tanks were unsieged. Yeah, I think that big attack there kind of changed the whole game, and SOS at that point just rolled over Dream, was able to take game number 1.
Yes, he was. And part of the reason he was able to do that so effortlessly was that DT that he was just sending forward to harass. It actually walked through the entire army of Dream and saw how out of position it was and how unprepared it was for a fight.
Oh, wow.
And something important to note as well is that Dream did not build an armory in that game until about the 12-minute mark. So he was never looking... once he got his 1-1, he was not looking to continue his upgrades for a very long time. If he had done so, if he had continued upgrades, maybe he has 2-2 by the time that attack comes in, and maybe things look a little different.
Yeah, possibly. But it's still not over for Dream here. He's still got one more game before... I mean, if he does lose this next game, then it's pretty much over, but... he could force it to a game 3 and keeps his tournament hopes alive, as this is the ace match, right? Yeah, this is the ace match.
Yes,
for
it
the
is.
night. So before we get into our next game, guys, remember there is a Matcherino code, or Matcherino link rather, for this tournament. So make sure you head on over to the Matcherino link, type in the coupon code, and then you can donate 50 cents for free. We have a bunch of coupon codes left over. You can find the link as well as the coupon code at the notice board in the chat area. So head on over there quickly before this next game and help support the players.
We would really appreciate that, guys. That would be awesome if you could do that.
Definitely.
But we are looking
like Nightshade is going to be our next map.
Yes, it is. Sorry, I was going to say we are looking on the edge of a full sweep. Everything being a 2-0 tonight.
Oh, wow.
Minimum number of maps.
We might actually possibly have this done before the 3-hour mark.
Yeah. That would be pretty crazy.
Yeah, because I think our first one, or our last few couples, went like 3 hours and a half, or maybe even 4 hours.
Yeah, that would be that would be pretty nuts to go before the 3-hour mark, because like you said, that is we had a pretty quick night the other night, but not this quick.
Yeah. All right, countdown has begun, guys. Type into the chat who you got in this next game. Do you think SOS will close it? Do you think Dream will send it to the third match? Type it into the chat.
All right. Here we are spawning up in the top left position, representing Brave Star Gaming. I almost did it again. It is the Red Terran player, Dream. Looking to even the series and send it to that first ace match of the night, which would ultimately be the final map in the series, in the cast.
Yep. And here, spawning at the bottom right, we have our blue Protoss player from Junior Green Wings. He is SOS.
Yes, he is. And will he bust something out for us today? For us this game, I should say. Just going for a pretty standard Gateway Scout once again. On the other side, Dream went gas first. Gas first barracks, so probably just going to be getting that very, very quick Reaper. As you do.
Yeah, he's been getting some good damage in with the initial Reaper, even in his TVZ games. So we'll see if he can get some here. But it looks like this probe here will zap away. Well, not.
Yeah, being a real pain.
Yeah. As long as as long as you can force your opponent to be a little bit uncomfortable in the beginning, that's really all that you want with this first initial. I mean, except with the scouting, of course, aside. But besides that, yeah, if you can, block any mineral patches or delay the barracks from building, that's always a plus.
Yes, exactly. Wasn't able to actually delay that command center really, but he did force the one SCV to be off the line for mining, which is nice. On the other side of the map, we have second gas coming down from SOS. Very standard. Ooh, hidden probe. Crouching Tiger, hidden probe. Is that going to be for anything, or is that just going to be to scout in a little bit? I think probably it's going to be to scout, but I wouldn't put it past him if it was like a proxied Stargate.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of late right now, I think, for a proxy Stargate, but probably a proxy pylon or something.
It could just be. Oh, look at that! He's made a little star. That's cute.
Nice.
He's gonna derp on the minerals in a second, though. Oh. And Reaper getting pushed away by this Chrono Adept, and Adept actually going all the way across the map. I kind of like this. Dream getting a little bit awkward with this micro, allowing it to get some free shots, and he can't really harass it. And as a result, SOS is going to deny this command center for a fair bit of time here. SCV was saved, so very nice micro from Dream. Very nice work but that's unfortunate for him. With the couple extra Marines and Hellion finishing up, though, this is going to allow him to at least move down the ramp. I don't know if he can necessarily take this fight, but he will finish up the command center, which is very, very important. And a little bit of damage done to the shields of the Adept, but this is still a pain right now from Dream, or sorry, from SOS for Dream. Now will SOS go for that crazy timing where you try and bait out the Widow Mine with the Shade? I would love to see him actually move forward with the probe, if anything.
Yeah, I think the probe would make the better sense as more stalkers. So he's committed. There's actually no bunker yet. He's trying to throw down the bunker, but it's really late. Widow Mine goes forward and...
Oh, both of them actually land. Or sorry, both of them burrow. Oh, man. Ooh, nice target fire on the Hellion. And this is looking pretty rough right now. Another 2 stalkers should be warped in slow from that that pylon on the right side. And Blink is coming up behind this. So SOS, he did this against Cure before, but Cure wasn't able to get the bunker up, which Dream was just able to finish up. That was really nice from SOS, though. That was a fair bit of damage being done. But I guess he did lose a Stalker. He lost the Adept, so Dream doing not too bad. Third Nexus coming down, though. Like this follow-up from SOS.
Yeah, and now his Blink is about to be done, so he can actually go ahead across the map, but it looks like he's just scared of any drops, so it seems like he's just gonna be on the back foot and defend for the meantime until he can get his additional gateways and start warping in units.
Yeah, it certainly does look that way. Dream is going for an engineering bay and a couple more barracks, and may very well be getting a No, that tech lab's definitely for one of the barracks, so we can start up stim. Yeah, looks like he may go for a bit of a 2-base push here. We'll see if he throws down the 4th and 5th barracks before command center, or if he goes up to command center before that. Sorry, 3rd command center. Oh, looks like Reaper did get picked. Or no, Marine.
Yeah, Spotter Marine.
Yeah. Doing a good job here, but Blink is done on these stalkers. And does SOS have any way to get vision into the main base? Doesn't look like it. There is an observer making its way across the map, but that's going to take a while. Oh, and Recall actually forced out? Or just chosen? Did he see anything?
I'm not sure. I don't think he saw anything, but I guess his intuition is, I guess it's just generally, I guess the time that the Widow Mine, he could expect those.
Oh my goodness. Where did he see that drop?
Yeah, I'm not sure. We do have a 1-minute delay, so I'm sure he's not cheating. But yeah, I think he's just that good.
Yeah. I didn't even know that his vision started that early. That was very, very quick reaction time. Even a bunch. So he had to have seen that somewhere along the way, right? Like, there's no way he didn't see that. Oh, did he? Oh man.
I'm not sure how he did though.
Yeah.
There was no vision at the top end, and that's where the medevac kind of flew by.
Yeah, that's what I was confused about, and I don't think he saw it leave with the army. He had to have seen it somewhere though.
You know what? Maybe he did. You know, he moved out with the stalkers. He didn't see a 3rd base, so he's probably thinking like, maybe there's something up. Maybe I gotta go back and recall and defend for the time being. But it turned out to be the right move.
Yeah, definitely. He definitely worked out in his favor. And we do see him spotting the attack from his opponent coming across the map here. Gonna pick off a Marine, make his opponent lose a bit of that medevac energy. Oh, but he is gonna lose one of those stalkers trying to re-engage there. May even lose another one. Gonna be very close, but but look at this cutoff from Dream. Very nice. Gonna pick off 2, maybe 3 stalkers. But a nice bit of target fire from SOS. Going to counter and take out some of those Marauders, and Tank on the left side gets isolated, and this is SOS really jumping on top of this after Dream kind of overextended, I would say, chasing those Blink stalkers. Oh man, this Blink, yeah, I was just gonna say he's about to blink forward and pick off a medevac. And those Marines and Marauders are not long for this world.
No, they are not. And now we have just a few bio units without any tank. Just a single Widow Mine that gets sniped off, as the Observer does provide some of the vision there. And looks like Dream, he's in the back foot here. He might actually need to pull SCVs just to defend against this.
Yeah, I definitely think he will. He does have a very high worker count, but his army supply is exceptionally low. And SOS did cut workers for quite some time. And, oh man, there's so many workers at that mineral line in the natural. And Guardian Shield is popped. A lot of units coming down. Blink forward to readjust the positioning of his army. And already 18, 20 workers going down. And SOS will lose the Colossus, though. But he is trading out so well in terms of economy. Dealing so much economic damage to his opponent. And really, that just evens the army supply. So all of a sudden, SOS is very far ahead economically and infrastructure-wise.
Yeah, he's even taking a 4th base. He's like, I got this. I mean, there wasn't any 3rd base, and just lost a lot of SCVs. I mean, really, this is pretty much SOS game to lose.
I feel that way as well. Wow, look at the vision SOS has over his opponent's army. He's got 2 observers in stasis mode, and he sees everything right now. And he's setting up with a drop to go into the main, and he's got Charge Lot, Blink Stalkers, and a single Colossus at the front. Oh, Dream, he's pretty well positioned for this. He will take out one of those observers, but drop goes into the main while this is happening. And Colossi, it is going to be saved. Blink Stalkers take out all 4 Vikings, and already 11 SCVs go down and a ton of damage in the main. And even a run by at the 3rd, this is really nice from SOS. And I think he is just about to punch his ticket through this game. Even gets a couple of awkwardly rallied Vikings there. And there's just no way. Dream is in shambles right now. SOS is so far ahead. He may even pick off this 3rd command center. Oh, I'd love to see him even blink a couple Stalkers into the main base just to make sure. But no, he's actually not going to go for it. That was, I think, the nail in the coffin. Even if he blinked 4 Stalkers up there and lost them all, that would have been it. That would have been no way to come back, I think, for Dream. But as it is, he keeps that 3rd command center alive just barely, and will keep the War Prism penned in. Oh no, SOS actually, he tried to move it for a second there. That was an ill-fated attempt. SOS behind this is so far ahead, though. He's got 2-2 very nearly done. He's got the 4th Nexus completed. There's just... You said it before, it was SOS's game. Oh, look, the War Prism does get cleaned up. That's nice. You said it was SOS's game to lose, and even more so, that is the case now.
Yeah, Dream is in the world of trouble. I would like to see SOS actually start getting some additional tech units beside Colossus. I think mixing in some High Templars, or maybe even some Disruptors, or even maybe going tech straight into air. Who knows? But we do see a little bit of a move out, and actually a little bit of a Zella run by as well into Dream's dirt base. But Dream looking to attack, and I do not see this happening.
Yeah, this is not an ideal scenario for kind of an awkward over jump into the fight maybe from SOS, but I still think he has enough to take this down. Yeah, there's just too much meat in this army. He had 2-2 upgrades, and this is a punishing crush. As that SCV damage is done across the map, GG is called and SOS advances on, finishing the 10-0 map score for the winners.
Yeah, just pretty much not walkovers, but kind of runovers throughout every single series. So pretty crazy. Didn't expect
Seriously, yeah. No, I didn't expect that at all, especially with the caliber of the players. And I don't think anyone would have necessarily expected Impact to be the one to 4-0 this group. I think a lot of people would look at this and pick him probably last place.
Certainly.
But he showed some really great stuff.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would have probably chosen like someone like Sue to get first out of the place, or possibly SOS. But looks like looks like Impact and Dream will both be moving on to our next round. So congrats to both of these players.
Yes, very impressive work. SOS just showing some dominating play in the it's funny because against Sue he did kind of the same thing that he did against Impact, and Impact shut it down hard, whereas Sue had no answer, it felt like.
Yeah. And let's take one last look, of course, at the bracket here. At the Wikipedia page, TY, of course, he will be playing against SOS in the top semifinals, and then in the lower semifinals we have Impact versus Zest, which should be a great match. And you know what? Just looking at it, I'm thinking, ooh, we have actually a nice kind of race distribution. We have one Terran, one Zerg, and two Toss, so nice, evenly distributed kind of race diversity. And yeah, whoever top two will move on to the finals, where they will play a best of 7 to determine who will be the winner of the Alpha Pro Series Xmas Showdown.
Yes, and these players in the top 4 already secured themselves a minimum $150. Pretty nice stuff for an online tournament for sure. Looking at this, who do you have to win going into things so far?
I'm gonna say possibly TY and Zest moves to the finals, and then after that, that would be tough. I think that would be probably a 50-50 toss up or something.
Yeah, oh man, it's so hard to call. I didn't see TY's games, for example, versus Zest, so I'm not sure how his TVP is looking, but 2-1ing Zest is an impressive result. I think TY is my pick to win as well. But looking at Impact play, like he had some cool stuff ready to go, so I would not be surprised if he actually snuck in and won the whole thing.
Yeah, same here. He's probably maybe even the dark horse.
Oh, for sure, 100%. I don't think many people would look at this. Look at these players and pick him to advance over even some of the players that got knocked out in the first round.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, like his only losses have been in that first group stage, and they were both against foreigners, hilariously enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's gonna wrap things up for us.
Yeah. Remember, guys, though, we do have a Matcherino page set up for this tournament. We would love for you all to just head on over there. You can sign up with whether your Google account, your Blizzard account, your Twitch account, many different ways to sign in, and use the coupon code to contribute 50 cents for free to the prize pool. Help support the players. And speaking of supporting the players, we do have a nice little sponsor named Salad Technologies. They provide an incredible app for you to download and use. Just basically head on over to salad.io, download the app. You run it when you're not gaming, or whether you're not using your GPU for anything else, and that will help you earn rewards that you can put towards different various gift cards, ranging from Spotify to Amazon to Google Play, like you mentioned earlier, Steadfast, and as well as a bunch of other goodies. And yeah, you can read all about it and check them out at salad.io.
Very, very cool stuff.
Yep. All right, Steadfast, you have any last words before we wrap this up?
Yeah, obviously, thanks to Alpha X for having me on. Once again, it was fun. Thank you to the players for some good games. Thank you to you for casting with me. Thank you to all the organizers, everyone. And if you are enjoying the casting, make sure to follow me on follow me on Twitch, SteadfastSC, twitch.tv/SteadfastSC, stands for StarCraft, of course. As well, you can make sure to give me a follow there if you are interested. Same, you can follow me on Twitter at SteadfastSC2. Follow me wherever. I don't know, to the supermarket. You know.
To the bathroom as well.
Yeah, that's yeah, exactly. Other than that, anything you have to add?
Yeah, just basically to remind everyone that we do have the semifinals and finals tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here at Alpha X SC2 channel. Make sure to tune in for that. And that pretty much does it. This is of course, your friendly neighborhood puppy dog Snoopy, as well as Steadfast, signing out.